Yeah.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Wow. Let's go.
First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Wake
In the
up.
morning.
Yeah.
Time to wake on up.
Wake up.
Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. You better wake up from this dream. Life is not what it seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we lose in the drug and boozing is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop hating. Then rearrange these front pages. From murder and death to building our wealth.
Oh, it says rearranging front pages. I like that.
Yeah. We do not accept the narrative.
Mission, man, we tired of listening, so we said enough. Unification amongst us. Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Wake up, y'all.
Time to wake up. Shout out Sherman Wells for the wake up song.
Hey.
What's going down? First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Fresh edition happening now. I'm Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Paul B.
Man, we're up early.
Yeah.
I see popped up early with the good Monday morning First Sky fam. What's up, Pop?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Definitely up earlier than all of the rest of us being
Man.
on the West Coast. So appreciate you getting up so early. Man, yeah, sometimes things run so late for me. I'd be like, let me just go on, stay up till it's time to get up.
I don't know if I'm that brave, but yeah. Could have used a couple more winks.
Yeah, no, I hardly ever do it, but there's been a couple times in the last 3 years. Exactly what I had to do.
Man.
It's what it is.
We here?
Yeah, man. Good morning.
Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Judy Prinzer coming in. Good morning to you.
She says, good morning. Hope all had a blessed weekend with friends and fam. That's what.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You know, let us know how your holiday went. What'd you get into? What'd you eat? Where'd you go? What'd you spend it with?
Yeah. How was it?
Yeah. Did you get your tamales, Paul?
I did not get tamales yet, bro.
Yeah, okay. Still on the hunt.
Yeah, but I don't be, like around the time of the actual the actual holiday, people are busy in the kitchen cooking for their fams and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't be bugging nobody, but this week,
Hey,
I'm
man.
gonna be tapping y'all.
Yeah. Look out for my mans. Look out for my
with the
mans.
tamales and stuff. Don't make me go.
Yeah.
Make me go to Sam's.
Yeah, help a brother out.
Not the club. Yeah, let us know how was your holiday. I saw some pictures. Judy put some pictures up of some activity going on. Look like with the family. How was your weekend and all that good stuff? Yeah, just kind of just keeping it light today. This is, of course, we get the 7 o'clock hard start, so and we'd like to get on 10 minutes early just to say hello. How you doing?
Hello.
Pop said he got his tamales.
Okay.
Got his tamales, boy.
Maybe hook son up, send something through.
Yeah, there's Michelle Moreno right there giving us this will be the week or weekend. Hey, see?
Okay, see, there you go. See?
Yeah, man. You don't.
They say closed mouth don't get fed.
Gotta ask for it. But yeah, I during the actual holidays, people who cook, people who are actually like burning for the fam, or get pretty overwhelmed. I talked to a few people that's just like, I don't like taking the whole thing on myself sometimes, and then it turns into a burden. You know what I mean? So
it could be a lot.
Yeah. What did you guys? I know you got moms out there. Did you do some family eating? What's going on?
We did some family eating. Instead of the turkey, had some salmon. Was gonna do like a fajita bar, but that plan kind of switched up. So had like some stuffed salmon. Got some of the dressing. Some of the fixings and things. Watched a little football.
Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't too bad of a turkey day.
Okay, all right, that's what's up. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Of course, we don't really, celebrate whatever the holiday is supposed to be about. Just, taking time to spend with fam, eat, break some bread.
Live alive with one another.
There you go.
Way our economic system and work system is like we the only civilized country in the world that gives such little time for time off, and it's messed up. So the little bit of vacation people have to try to get together, you can't deny it. Even if you don't celebrate, you still gotta take that time to get together because it's probably the only time you got off work. You know what I mean?
Man. Oh yeah. All
Yeah.
for what's it that 3-day, 4-day weekend movement?
Yeah, that too. Yep.
I'm all for that.
I already got the call. I know some kids, some families are having them kids is going back to school this week, boy.
Yeah, yeah, mine going. I think they going back right
They
now.
gone, yeah. Yep, yep.
Yeah, going back.
Well, you got some learning to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sean McCarthy says, morning. Hope everyone had a good holiday. Yeah, bro.
yeah.
Appreciate it. Hope you did too. Michelle Moreno says, how is burnt out this week? I work at Costco, so it's always crazy there. Ooh, I
Mm,
bet. I bet they was really going for it over there at Costco.
man.
Judy Prison says, "Go Packers." Okay, Packers fan. Oh, she said,
Okay.
with family in Wisconsin, all are woke. How about that? Okay,
Oh, okay.
she got a woke
Well,
wife.
what kind of yeah, I'm about to say what kind of woke? Everybody up right now or everybody
She
stay
on
woke?
she on First Sky. She know what kind of woke she talking about.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
that's what's up. I'm happy for you, Judy. If you remember, during the Trump, there was some hard conversations going on over the dinner table. Some families that weren't necessarily woke.
for real, bro. For real.
Yeah, it was some. Yeah.
It's funny, man, because I was talking to some folks probably last year about that same thing, and it was like we kind of came to the conclusion that the LGBTQ community are the kind of the ones that are out front with that. They're like they had all the hard conversations back in the 80s and 90s and stuff with their
Mm.
family, so they know how to have a hard conversation with the fam. So it was like they was you know what I'm saying. I came to the conclusion if you want some advice on how to on being in a white family and having to have that conversation about Trump and stuff with your fam, talk to that community because they done did it. They done did that hard stuff already. So yeah, it
Mm.
was interesting to hear to talk to somebody about that. They were just like, "Oh man, this ain't yeah, we cool. we stayed cool, even though they voted for Trump. We stayed cool because we knew how to talk about hard stuff like that." I'm like,
Uh,
okay,
yeah, I don't know,
lucky for
Mama.
you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mama Guy's been telling me about it, and everybody's so lucky. She been hearing about families breaking up and
Yeah,
businesses breaking up, and yeah, it's kind of mad out there. It's
crazy,
madness out there.
crazy. Marlon Harrison gives us a good morning, First Sky fam. He says, I'm about to be in the gym later today, working off this 30 pounds I gained over the last 4 days.
Scarfing down the leftovers.
Yeah, man. We
Yeah,
always hear about tryptophan,
man.
which is an amino acid. I learned about this weekend. It's it heavily in turkey, but it's actually in all proteins, meat, living proteins. I
Mm-hmm.
just it's really kind of like the fact that you usually overeat is the real reason why you be getting the itis, and not so much
Man.
the tryptophan in the turkey. I also found out it's an amino acid, so there's tryptophan in a whole lot of different vegetables and all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's just about the amount that you take in,
The overindulgence.
which we tend to do around this time. So
Yeah, man. Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah, so good to you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Staying in the gym, getting,
Yeah,
keep it up, man. Keep it up.
yeah, man. I joined last month myself when in getting trying to get things back together. It's made all the difference. It's
Oh
made a
yeah, man.
huge difference in just like 6 or 7 visits, man. So yeah, I highly encourage everybody to do that. Christy Norgis this is the morning. Appreciate you.
Hey,
What was Ron's review? AIDS. What are you talking about?
I don't know what he talking about.
I'm trying to see if he has something else I missed.
Nah, I ain't see nothing. But top of the morning to you, bro.
That was your table, bro. I know you did some
Yeah.
good eating over there. Mayor
What you what
Sanchez.
you what you whip up this year, man?
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know. If you had any visitors, had any extra fam over there, how was it with the fam?
Judy. Oh, with the fart walk.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea because you kind of need to get out the house when you get a house full of fam.
All right, air it out.
Yeah, air it out exactly, and also walk it off. Hey, it's a great idea. I'm gonna have to implement that. All right, y'all.
Uh,
Time to take a walk. Time to take a walk.
yeah. Do a lap.
We have a special guest. We have confirmed that Senator Terrelle McKinney will be on today. I
Yeah,
have not heard from Senator Wayne. I think Senator Wayne I think
man.
he's like, look, give me a break from the legislature, bro. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. But we'll connect with him if he doesn't show up today. We'll connect with him and see what's going on with him. But next season we got we're getting some things confirmed about what the
Yeah.
Mondays will look like. Then I can't wait.
Yeah, lining some
Great.
things up.
Ron's review says hard talk with the family in the 80s. Yeah, about AIDS. Yeah,
Man.
Yeah, that was like I said, man. LGBTQ community been having hard talks since the great day, since especially the '80s. The '80s is when I feel like a lot of people were deciding to come out. The older ones were deciding to come out at that point, and that's to me. I remember a lot of activity about hard conversations at the dinner table around that
Mm,
time. People letting their family know who they are, or that they got some issues, or we got to talk about the AIDS situation. Things got serious at the dinner table in the '80s for real,
man,
and it ain't
man.
stopped. It ain't stopped. But we gonna start.
Hey, I said, yeah, I like what you did there.
Mhm,
All right, all
mhm.
right.
7 o'clock, if you
Mhm.
believe in the in the concept of time. Fresh edition of First Guy Omaha in the morning,
In the morning.
happening now.
Hey.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Get ready to chime in. A fresh edition of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
It's happening now on this December 2nd, 2024. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're frigid outside, a little cold, a
Brr.
little snowy,
Man.
and I don't appreciate it.
It's been pretty cold out here, actually. 36 here in Atlanta, man.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. 'Tis the season, man. Layer up, bundle up, all that good stuff, man. We've been talking about it. Yeah, if you ain't dusting off, if you ain't, getting that furnace ready, yeah.
Boy,
I mean, by now, hopefully,
well,
hopefully, you done got it going.
I gotta tell you, yeah, we'll get into it, but there's I definitely talked to some folks that the heater hasn't been working, and we need to figure out what's happening with it. Because check on your loved
Hmm.
ones, bro. That's all I gotta say on that. Check on your loved ones.
Man,
And I've been trying to do a little research on when us in our community, when the heat goes out, we be having the stove on hard in the house.
man.
And I've been hearing a little bit of stuff about how that's not too safe.
No, it's not.
Really shouldn't be going to sleep with the stove running, with the oven on for heat. You know what I'm saying? But you got kind of got to do what you got to do. But if
Yeah,
anybody has any advice on that, or have heard that too, or heard how to keep that situation safe, if you have to use your oven for heat, please let us know so we can pass that information on along to folks. Because what happens when your furnace is out and everybody's on vacation, can't fix it.
man. Two things on that tip, and we can
Okay.
move on.
Okay.
One, place heaters.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much better.
Not too much better.
Place heaters are definitely dangerous as well, especially people throwing blankets over them and all kind of stuff,
Sitting
man.
them by
So
the curtains and all that.
yeah, man, yeah. So if the place heater, you might want to think twice or be careful about where you place that, how you place that. But one thing that does come to mind, boiling water, like boiling water in your kitchen.
Mm. Steaming the
Yeah,
joint.
exactly. Heat it up. Kind of like the sauna type vibe,
Mhm.
rather than leaving your oven open.
Well, don't go to sleep with either one of them. Is
No, yeah,
my
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely don't go to
to
sleep
me,
with
I
it.
think I think you can kind of monitor things if you're awake and the oven's open. That's different. But going to sleep with the oven door
Nah,
open and the
yes,
oven, but yeah, that's
it's a recipe,
yep,
recipe.
yep. Ron's review says electric battery, heated blankets, all those
Yeah,
things.
okay. Yeah,
Yep,
definitely keep blankets in the car.
there you go. Sean McCarthy says one of my pipes has been frozen since Friday. Still accosting my landlord. Whew.
Man. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I mean keep the sinks on drip if you can. Yep.
that's.
Rome's review right on time.
Mhm. Oh, Anthony Rogers right in the chat says, do not use your oven as a heating source. Please, no.
Man,
I mean, we be doing what we got to do around here, but I highly suggest you don't go to sleep with that situation going on at the very least, and keep everything away from the oven if you got to do it. I mean, us, we gonna survive one way or another. We've been doing
yeah,
it, but yeah, it is a very dangerous thing. So check on your loved ones. If you got to
especially the
bring home,
elderly.
yeah, especially elderly would need that heat on for real. So take some space heaters over some, like Ron's review says, electric blankets, all that stuff. So yeah, just got to keep it in mind. I mean, it's that season now, so this is what's happening. It's snowing outside right now. It's supposed to get down into the teens later on
Mm,
this week. So this is the time. This is the time. So please check it out. Not too much going on in the news today and going on in community news today as well. A few things are going on we can talk about here and there. Again, special guest Senator Terrelle McKinney will be on today. But this is kind of a Monday. We can kind of keep kind of light a little bit. Just wanted to find out what
Yeah,
you guys did over the holiday weekend and all that. Let us know. Do us a favor, share the show as well. If you're on Facebook, I see Facebook working, YouTube working. Do us a favor, share the show, get as many people in as possible. And yeah, we'll definitely we definitely got some things to talk about. There's always some things going on in the news in the neighborhood, especially. But you know, we definitely wanted to kind of keep it a little bit lighter today, just because everybody's kind of coming off the holiday. Let us
man. Getting back into the swing of things. Are you back to work today? You talk about the kids going back to school. Are you back to work today? What's going on with you? And if you are, thanks for tuning in with us.
know.
Even
Right.
if you're not, thanks for tuning in with us.
There you go. Appreciate that. Anthony Rogers right on that subject again, saying it's also the gas that you're exposing yourself to. Yeah, if you have a gas stove, that's a whole different thing than electric stove for real.
Man, true that,
Yep.
true that.
Muy peligroso. Okay. Heard that.
Not sure what that.
Yeah. Hmm?
So not sure what that means, but okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm reading the context. It ain't good. I can say that.
Very ominous, very
Very
ominous.
ominous. Just a few things going on in the community that we can talk about, though, just to throw a few things up there. Appreciate that.
Okay,
Sherman sermons, the Sunday sermon, the sermon with Sherman is
man,
happening. He's been broadcasting this one. I guess he's really setting up for it. This is happening on the 15th, so he's got some time. He's getting this one together. I just
man,
want to put it out there. Next sermons with Sherman episode on the 15th will at 7 p.m. will be very intense and graphic. I'll be featuring evidence from a family fighting for justice after their loved one's murder was covered up as a suicide, with Iowa officials being accused of negligence and poor investigation. Viewer discretion advised.
mm,
So man, Sherman L. Wells hit his page. Definitely doing a lot for our local media news situation here with his connection to the community. He's kind of the quintessential news gang
man. News
uh,
game, news game.
community journalist that we always talk about, that has
Ideal,
connection to the story, connection to the families, deep dives, digs in, talks to folks, and is talking about the things that are happening right around our area and with our people. So I
hmm
shout out to Sherman Wells. Definitely check his page out, Sherman L. Wells. And the Sunday sermon, the sermons with Sherman, and the Untamed situation and all that, man. Definitely check him out and talk more about it. As a matter of fact, he's also connected with the Black Agenda Alliance,
Hey,
who's got brother Nuri Muhammad coming for the Kwanzaa celebration, December 27th, 6 to 9, over at the Assembly of the Saints, 422 North 24th Street in Omaha. So this is going to be a good one. I believe that they're going to, this is going to be a free event, and they're asking for us, they'll have a suggested donation, and you can donate what you want to the situation. But I think this will be a free event. You'll be able to come to this Kwanzaa celebration that they're building. Is going to be one of the biggest Kwanzaa celebrations in the state or in the area.
man, yeah.
So
I mean, I wonder what Iowa's getting down on Kwanzaa.
good question. Good question. I did a little research and found that there is a PayPal link for the BAA if you ever want to donate to the Black Agenda Alliance and help them
Man,
with some of these kinds of things here. I'm putting that in the chat right
please
there. Yeah, they don't
support,
really have
support.
support. Yeah, they this is kind of the season of support. So
Oh
so
yeah,
yeah, put that in there. And if we there's a lot of we got Giving Tuesday coming up, and there's a whole lot
man,
of nonprofit organizations happening. We'll be talking about that coming up as well. Giving Tuesday is happening tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And it's a really interesting thing about this, because you go to the Giving Tuesday by Share Omaha and you look at all these organizations that are out here that that are going to be hopefully getting donations tomorrow, and maybe some that's already got some early donations. And you know, there's not organizations like the Black Agenda Alliance on it. So we have to take it upon ourselves to do stuff like donate to the Black Agenda Alliance and in other places like
man.
that. Yeah. So we'll come back to that in a second. Just want to say good morning to Kimra, who just came in. Good morning, y'all. Good morning to you. Black Dynamite in the house. Good morning, y'all.
Hey,
Mark Manner says, I have been at work 10 days straight. I have 100 packages I'm taking to the post office in a minute. Man, record business is booming right
Man,
now this week. That's what's up
yeah, the record store.
at the record store. A couple more things that's going on in the neighborhood. Of course, Christmas in the Village is happening on December 7th. Everybody's
Hey,
kind of gearing up for that. I'm seeing all the businesses around the area, especially that are really, really posting this everywhere, because of course, Christmas in the Village means you're gonna be down there with on the deuce with people who got some businesses that you can frequent. Idle Vital Juices and a bunch of other places that you can get down with. So that's the good thing about this is just how they're having the holiday lights and stuff like that downtown. We got some stuff going on here on the Deuce on
all
24th Street.
right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's all happening at the same time, and you might as well come down and check us out, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
But it
Been
is.
hearing some good things about Jackson's takeout down there on the Deuce. Get you
Jackson's
some.
gets down, man. I like that the grits and stuff they make over there. Jackson's gets down. Love
All
it.
right, get you some.
Get you some. Get you some. So shout out to Empowerment Network for putting that situation together. Also, shout out to Empowerment Network got a little big up from Gabrielle Union just recently.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, man. Omaha's own Gabrielle Union posted just recently. Today's Woman Crush Wednesday is Demita Bird, Senior Director of Diversity, Inclusion, and Empowerment Network in my hometown. The Empowerment Network works to transform the economic conditions and quality of life for African Americans and Omaha residents. More on Demita's work below. Then she goes into what Demita is doing. Yeah, nice little shout out, man. Nice to be nice for a person of that caliber, somebody who's out in the world doing some things and still shouting
Man.
out the hometown, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I and she got First Guy Omaha t-shirt somewhere. You need to pull that
that's correct.
out.
Yeah, we ran into her at the Blue Note Festival. Like, yeah, she was like, "Yeah, I know about First Guy."
Hey,
We ain't
yeah,
told 'em
First
that.
Guy. Yeah, 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 yeah. So whoever told her about First Guy, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
appreciate that.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
One of the dozens of cousins out here.
Yeah,
So
man. Yeah, yeah,
shout
yeah.
out
We
to
tell y'all,
listening.
tell a friend, even if it's Gabrielle Union.
Big time, big time. Some of the haps that's happening coming up. Art Battle, of course. Art Battle over at the Culture House is always a good time. It's coming up December 14th at 5 o'clock. If you want to be somebody who is an artist that wants to be in this battle, hit them up at Culture House and
Man,
yeah, get on in there. But even if you're not an artist, it's a good show to go check out, man. You get to meet a
yeah.
lot of artists, see them in their element, doing their thing. Art Battle gets down, big
And the
time.
format is just something different. Like I've been to art shows, I've been to galleries, I've been to museums. It's just not like anything you really ever seen as far as the art situation. And it's a national thing. So yeah, tap in. Shout out to the
Tap
Culture
in.
House.
Man, Culture House gets down, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Do they still got that gallery going on?
Yeah, that's running until I think it's the 12th. I'll go back and find out when I don't have
Yeah,
the graphic
yeah,
anymore. I'll
yeah.
go back and find out. But yeah, you can go to the Culture House. They've set it up like a gallery for you to go check out this show.
Man,
Culture House gets down, man. We need to get catch up with Marcy before we leave the season here and maybe have him come on and talk about what's going on for next
mm,
year because
I love that.
yeah, that'll be dope. Kimber in the chat real quick says if you go to Christmas in the Village, don't forget to stop by the One Omaha table.
Hey,
That's
check
what's
him
up.
out.
Well, Omaha's been doing some really good work. Of course, just the work that Kimmer and her team are doing just in the neighborhoods, but also for organizations like us, man. They've been the fiscal sponsor for us and for Dreamland
Mm,
Report. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? And of course, since they're a nonprofit organization, they also going to be participating in the Share Omaha Giving Tuesday that's happening tomorrow. And you can give to One Omaha as well. As a matter of fact, I'll jump into that Giving Tuesday situation a little bit anyway because I
Yeah.
wanted to kind of show some of the organizations that are involved. And let me see if I can pull this up real quick and show you guys what's going on. I in the, before I start talking about that, the some of the ones that we're involved with in partnering with One Omaha, Freedom Tainment I saw on the list.
Man, okay.
Yeah,
That's
Freedom-
Calvin and the crew.
they got some big shows coming up in the summer, so they already are starting with that again. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick on this. And
Boom. There you
the
go.
North Star Foundation. So here's some of the nonprofits that are listed here. There's several pages of this, but you can see kind of goes down the line here of organizations that need to give. And this is the appeal of this is that people who are donating, people who have those kind of discretionary funds to be able to donate. They don't have to be kind of looking around everywhere or whatever. They can kind of go to one spot and see what's going on. They could do it on one day and kind of get it done.
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of the whole point of this, and to support. So you can see there's a lot going on here. Some of the ones that we want to support are like North Star Foundation. They're on there. OEAA Awards is on there as well.
Yeah.
100 Black Men, Union for Contemporary Art, Sunita Budai, Brighten Our Future Early Learning Center, Inc. Chad Chimer and friend of First Sky Omaha. She has
Yeah.
her company
Shout out
on
to the
there.
Mac.
Shout out to the Mac Foundation. Yep, helping nonprofits everywhere. So I see some of these smaller theater groups that used to come through Benson Theater and perform are asking for that too. Of course, we talk about this a lot when it comes to the Giving Tuesday. It always ends up being like the
Humane Society.
humane society that get the most money, right, and other organizations, they get 100 here or 500 there or something like that. Humane Society be getting 90,000, 100,000.
Yeah.
So it really is you got to think about who this is for, what the audience is, the people who have discretionary funds that want to donate, or people who have companies or businesses that want to get down and donate, and need the tax write-off when they do so, and all that good stuff. And it's all right here. It's all right here for them. So, but there's also a lot of good organizations doing a lot of good work here. Like I say, North Star Foundation is on deck. And a lot of places. So I highly suggest you go ahead and check this out if that's what you do, if you're inclined to do that.
OEAAs. I think the Culture House is on there
Mhm.
too.
I don't
Yeah.
think Culture House is on here.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they are. I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but I think they're not.
I
But
would say even if you don't plan on donating, this will be a good opportunity to just see who's out there. You know what I mean? Do your research on some organizations, especially there's something that you might need.
man, you're right about that. Yeah,
Man,
Multiple
shout out to the
Sclerosis
Hope Center.
Society. Yep,
Is
Hope
that
Center.
the Hope Center? Is that Northside Hope Center?
Hope Center for Kids. Yeah, it looks like it. Is
Mm,
there another Hope Center besides the North Side one?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But check it out. Oh, we worked with U-Turn before. Seen Intergenerational Orchestra Omaha before. So
Mm.
Nebraska Medicine, who I bought a ticket to one of their events one time, and they hit me up faithfully. Thank you for your donation 3 years ago. So, would you like to donate again? Well, let's see. So yeah, lots of organizations, definitely check it out, and
Man, shout
support.
out to
and
the union.
and I really feel like there's just brighten our future right there. Our partners at BFF. I really highly encourage, though, we might need to put a little list like this together of organizations that aren't on this list, like the Black Agenda Alliance, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
that can also use a little help with some donations as well, and get them linked in. And here's kind of the example of how to do that. Maybe that's something that we can look into doing. There's Rabble Mill, another partner of ours that we're partnering up with on some things. So yeah, it's interesting. This was interesting too. We just heard about Pace getting $50,000 from the mayor, and they're on here as well. I didn't realize that they were a nonprofit organization, but I guess of course they.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Rose Theater. So Planned Parenthood. So they're all grouped here in one area, and then they're there for ease of the
Access.
ability access, yeah, ability to donate in one spot and all that good stuff. Let us know how you feel about those things, man. This is something that's going on in Omaha in a big way. We're a nonprofit town,
Oh man.
and even though a lot of us aren't connected with a lot of these places, some of us are connected with some of these places. What does it mean? Does your organization, if you're in an organization that gets those kinds of donations, do you get those? Do you get donations around Giving Tuesday? Does this work? Is this a model we can use for some of the organizations and businesses that we want to support in our neighborhoods that aren't on this list? These are some questions I want to kind of put out to the chat. So let us know. Let us know. Black Dynamite in the chat. Miss Bird is good people. That's what's up.
Okay.
What's up?
Yeah, shout out to the Empowerment Network. Definitely be gearing up to do a lot more work with them in 2025. So, kind of look out for that as well. And just learning more about the network. I will say through our conversations on the show and with Willie and going to a few events, like really, gathering that it is a network. So yeah, want to explore that a little more.
Definitely do. Definitely do. I remember I was just thinking about that like a few years back when we started. I was kind of like, what are they doing over there?
Man, yeah,
What kind of
right, right,
questions?
right, right, right.
And now we have talked to probably hundreds of people who have benefited from some of those programs,
Mhm.
and been in rooms where there were 600-700 kids looking at what kind of work they were going to be doing with just
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
lots
Yeah,
going on, man, lots going on.
I mean, looking back, I think a lot of that kind of stemmed from questions of the the empowerment, the Omaha 360 meetings, and
Mhm.
what was kind of coming out from there. But yeah, since then we've learned it's a lot more work going on than
Yeah.
just those meetings.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those meetings are not. You're not gonna solve all the problems in North Omaha with that particular weekly meeting. It's just a step in all the other steps that the
Man.
network has to put together to do something.
Right. So yeah, shout out to all the chat chimers that's checking those things out, active out in the streets, pounding the pavement, boots to the roots. We appreciate you. We thank you. Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
appreciate you. Mark Manor got me already. Got me thinking about breakfast already. Said the skillets at Jackson's.
Man,
Over there
okay,
at Jackson's, getting down with them
okay,
skillets. That's what's up, man. Anybody go to the Angeline Timeless show over at the Holland last week because apparently it was an
man,
extravaganza, 1,200 people
man,
gets down, man. And this is the reason why, because Angelique she just did get up with Timeless. She brought the heavy hitters in from the city, bro. Big Wade was out there. I mean,
man.
Big Wade, Black Swan Theory, man. I mean, look at the hitters on this. Look at this lineup.
Okay,
They
got my man back there on the bass. Is brother?
Mo on the base. Yep.
Yeah, came out to the jam session at the kickback.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. So, I mean, you like I said, bro, you got some singers in this group right here for real, players, and then of course Angeline Timeless, their band, Black Swan Theory. I see Jay back there. I mean, like, yeah, this was a lineup, and everybody that went to the show said it was the show. It
man.
so let us know
Well,
if you
put
went.
that picture back up, man. Everybody looking clean. Look at that. Got their hats on and stuff.
Hey, brother, at the Holland chilling. Where's it at? Where's it at? There it is.
Looking clean. Look at
Yeah,
that.
come on, man. Somebody made a call. Said we're all black,
Man, all right. Look
black
at
on
Big
black.
Wave. Yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a great show according to everybody involved. So I really appreciate that. Also, man, shout out to the OEAs and just black performers in general. OEAs just hooked up Verbal Gumbo, man, with the John Heaston Award for Cultural
Man,
Stewardship. This is gonna be huge. Felicia,
go.
yeah, bro. Fee said this is a huge honor. We don't take it lightly, especially because of the incredible ancestors named after Deep Bow John. Man, for real. We are so grateful to
Rest in
everyone
peace,
who
man.
has been supported us over the years, respecting the mic, those who performed or featured, and those who shared their goods and services at our events. Thank you for your continued light, everyone. Much love, Foxy Troxy, and with love, Felicia. Shout out to Michelle and Felicia on that. Yeah,
Man.
they get down. They got down on the verbal. The verbal gumbo is a legacy legendary poetry event that really picked up speed in the House of Loom days and
Mm-hmm.
continued over at Benson Theater. And man, yeah, if they do another annual one, you will have to go check it out because now they do them annually, and yeah, it's like the quintessential.
It's a thing, man. It's a thing. I performed at Verbal Gumbo once or
What?
twice. Yes, sir.
So this is before I knew you then.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like when I first moved back. Actually, I don't even know if I had moved back yet. I think I was still in college. And I was just
Wow.
back for like a holiday or something. Pulled up to a Verbal Gumbo and got down.
Man, I think I half remember that.
You might have been there. It was at
I
House of
think I have
Loom.
and a
It was at House of Loom.
whole bunch of brothers with locks that used to come up there. There's only 2 or 3 of them out of the whole 3 years. Because I used to DJ. I kinda remember this.
Man, you might have been a DJ. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I was DJing for Verbal Gumbo for a long time over there at House of Loom. Another person that got their start over there is our fan spotlight of the week, man. Tracy
Hey,
Shot. Tracy Shot, first time she got on stage to do some poetry was at Verbal Gumbo. She's a Verbal
man.
Gumbo alumni. So we just dropped her on the latest newsletter, the weekly rap newsletter that we got going out. Chad Chambers know her as Tracy Shot. Sounds like Trace Shot. That's
Mm-hmm.
how you pronounce her name. She is the First Guy Omaha fam. She's a chat chimer, recurring Black level financial supporter, storyteller, poet, Verbal Gumbo, and OEA Awards alumni, and Love Supreme Warrior. Thanks for your
Man, big time.
continued support, Trace. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Shout out to Trace. She gets down.
yeah, and a cancer fighter, man. Shout out,
Man, man,
man, Superwoman.
superwoman and a storyteller, letting us going with her through her journey,
Oh
and
yeah,
feeling that brings strength to a community when they can hear from the people. Sometimes you got friends, they're sick, you don't really know how to talk to them about it. If they're forthcoming with their story, and then it really kind of helps you be able to cope on a lot of stuff. So that's what's up. Appreciate y'all. Mark Manner says, I miss Omaha Giz when it was in the spring and it was easier to have events and for fundraising as weather was nice and people were not all distracted by the holidays.
Okay.
Yeah, that move to the wintertime is very strange, especially because it's also gala season. Everybody got a gala they got to go to during the
Man.
wintertime as well.
Yeah.
And of course, we know the galas are also big fundraisers. You know, kind of donate huge to the places that you're going, like this one, Afro Excellence Gala is happening at the Highlander December 7th. It's coming up. Brought to you by Afro Omaha. So
Hey, they get down.
they get down.
Man.
They get down. I mean,
Man.
look at the business that they're doing. Look at the bottom there, where all the people that they're connecting with to do these
Okay.
events. I remember when they started, and they kind of got their first couple of partners to make sure that Afro Omaha festival went down every year, and now they've expanded and they're really partnering with folks and doing stuff. And now they got the gala happening as well. I mean, they've had it; it's been going on. So this next one is coming up December 7th. Fashion, food, music recognition.
Man.
We at the Highlander, man, to get down.
Can't wait to see the outfits. I know they're gonna be out there clean, boy. Woo. Woo.
Gotta change my style up, man, so I can dress like these African brothers out here. They be getting down with the
Hey, I
look,
got me a few pieces, man. I'll step out in the
bro.
loafers.
Bro, your wedding suit was cold.
Man, still got it. Still got it.
Cold. Can you still fit it? That's the question. No.
Yeah, yeah. I am softening up around the middle though, man. I gotta get my dad by, man. I gotta follow suit with you and brother Marlon, man. I gotta hit the gym.
Hit that gym, bro. Hit
Mm.
that gym. Yeah, man. Kimra in the chat says, my board. Who's she saying about the board president? Board president ran House of Loom. You may know him as Jay Klein. Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Talking about the House of
Yeah,
Loom days. Black Dynamite says, y'all remember they used to have the theme parties at the House of Loom? House of Looms get down. I'm trying to tell you,
man. Man.
big time. Kimber says, I miss Omaha Gifts as well. Omaha Gives. She says, and Giving Tuesday also require a lot of strategy that wasn't really prepared for last year. We'll see how this year goes. Yeah, man,
Yeah,
they changed it up. They changed it up. I remember
that's what it was called. Omaha
Omaha
Gives.
Gives. Yeah, we back in the Mind and Soul days, we used to do that 24-hour Omaha Gives marathon on the
Man,
radio.
learned a lot.
Those were good times, good times. I don't know if we would do it this time around because of what time of the year it is and all that. It's kind of interesting.
Man.
She said I really had to really research Giving Tuesday. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing, but yeah, they definitely changed it up. I think it's because a different organization is handling it now. I'm not really sure why the change up happened, but
Mm.
is what it is. She says another one of my board members is one of the people involved with Afrofest as well. She said we rocking and rolling over here. Shout out to One
Okay,
Omaha, man.
beautiful.
Shout out to One Omaha. Says I'm looking for a place where I can donate about 5 bags of clothes and 5 bags of shoes. Many of the shoes I've never been worn. Have never been
Okay.
worn. You guys have any hookup on that? Let us know if there's places that some clothes
Looking
and
for
shoes can be donated. Right.
I believe Heart Ministry Center, they take those types of things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Open Door Mission, Salvation Army. A
Okay.
few places. Yeah.
Yeah, have to check it out. Check it out. She says One Omaha will be posted up tomorrow at the After Early Childhood Collaborative. Okay, so I'm glad you said that because I wanted to see if anybody's going to hit that situation. So definitely let us know on that. We'll wait for your report. Mark Menner says the only time I ever DJing besides Skateland back in the day was a Prince event at House of Loom.
Okay.
That's one of the first things I DJ was a Prince versus Michael Jackson party, and that's kind of how I set the tone for my DJing life at House of Loom was that party.
Man. They've been closing down on the spots. Where's the new spots in Omaha? What's the nightlife looking like in Omaha right now?
Well, right now it's looking like Netflix and the living room because it's too cold to be going out.
Hey, that part.
There's been some shows and stuff that's happening, man. I went and saw Sacho Grande at the
Okay, then get down.
waiting room the other day. Yeah, get down, man. Got a good crowd, good older be there chilling, no drama, no trouble. You know, it's white boy funk, but you know, you can get down to a little bit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
got some really recognizable, memorable songs that everybody loves to sing along with them, and that's a good show. So
Yeah.
there's a few little music things happening. Like I said, that Anjali and Timeless show with everybody at the Holland, I heard went all the way off. Some,
Man.
some good live music, but as far as club life is concerned, I think Barnado's kind of the only one kind of doing anything consistent. Just don't know. Let us know. You guys still hit the club? Where the club at?
Yeah.
Love to know. Love to know about it. Let me see if I got anything else before we move on to some news. Like I said, light day today. light news day to day. Just kind of
Yeah.
wanted to hear from you about what it is you guys got going on. How was your holiday, so on and so forth. Of course, I got to shout out OEAA Awards is coming up. We just did a little thing where Verbal Gumbo got an award and is thanking or is getting an award and is thanking everybody already. February 16th though is the actual award show. Get your tickets early for this. I think it's going to be one of those special shows this time around. So shout out to OEAAs and all the work that's being done there and all the work they're doing, man. They do a lot of good stuff. Also, I saw Cameron post a contractor event that's coming up tomorrow that we need to talk
Mm.
about. The agenda is the event will discuss subcontractor bidding opportunities for Southside Terrace Phase 2. So this is the opportunity for contractors to be a part of this, and maybe contractors from our neighborhoods being a part of this. Go check it
That's
out.
huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I mean, they do this, and we have yet to see what what comes of it. But at least there's an opportunity for somebody who a company that might be ready to do some of this contracting work to help to be able to come in and do this. So definitely check it out. Looks like you can for additional accommodations, contact Grant Daily at City of Omaha, or you can scan the QR code there. We'll put this in. It's already in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Go check it out over there.
Check it out.
Yeah, so all the ones that are talking about, is there gonna be any Black or Latino contractors that's gonna be on some of these major bills out
Mm.
here? Well,
Okay,
here's the
Cameron,
opportunity.
give us a little backstory.
What she said.
She says, yes, they are trying to sew it up where nobody from outside of South Omaha is involved, and I'm not going for it.
Mm,
So yeah, I mean, again, we've been talking about all the development. There's several, even we joke about Tiff Alley, but again, I've been saying it with all of this economic activity, there's opportunity in it. Even if you're not getting a direct check, think of how you can provide a service. Think about how you can get in with some of this, and definitely with all this construction going on, not just the Southside Terrace, but it's a lot of things going on. About to redo the airport, Carter Lake. Man, more contractors from the north side would definitely be a good way to boost the economy.
there you go. So if you know anybody, you got an uncle that's doing something, you got somebody that works at a company out here, let them
Man,
know, man. Get a piece of the action, like they used to say back in the day. Get a piece of the action.
big time,
Going
big
down.
time, big time.
One more thing that Kimmer brought out on the Friends of First Sky Omaha page was a chance to attend a visioning workshop. Visioning
Mm.
workshop coming up. Let me get this banner out of the way so I can read the rest of that. Visioning, visioning workshop at MCC South Campus. Have you heard of it? Have you had a chance to attend one of the city's visioning workshops? These workshops are where you can get your input about how you want the city to be in 20 years. If you
Man,
haven't, word is you aren't the only one. There will be one more, so you can still have a chance. Saturday, December 14th, from 2 to 3:30. So definitely check that out. It's going to be at MCC South Campus. I will put that on. It's in Friends of First Sky already. We'll put this Eventbrite link up real quick. So let me see if I yeah, I did it. Let me put this Eventbrite link here so you can kind of register and get to this as well. Get your get your word in there about what's happening, man.
man.
We should also be having to say about what's going on in the city, how things are being planned out.
Yeah, it's a saying that jumps out to mind in this types of situation. If you're not at the table, then you're on the menu.
Ooh. And if they didn't bring a chair to the table, bring a folding chair.
All right.
And if they ain't got no tamales on the table, flip that table upside down. Like get right. Tell them get right.
I can't get right. Can't get right. Jangling, jangling, jangling.
Oh man, it's 7:33. We just clowning around talking about some things that's going on in the
Yeah.
community. We appreciate you guys coming.
Um,
But
just one last thing before we get out of here.
yeah,
Before
yeah,
we end up with the community news. Happy belated to my man Aggie Kid, man. Just
bro.
yeah, man. Yeah, he put together a little track, man. You got to get that. Yeah,
You
yeah.
heard the track. You heard the
Yeah,
track.
yeah.
I told him hit me back with the radio edits. That's what he said. He
Yeah,
worked on that
yeah,
last night. So that's what's up. Yeah, shout out to Augie Kid. Yeah, we talked about his he had a big birthday bash last week. We talked about that. I thought that was when it was, but it turned out that his actual birthday was yesterday.
man.
So yeah, man, or a day before yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think it
I'm
was a couple
getting
days ago now.
a couple days ago. So yeah, man, shout out to Augie Kids Squad, always coming with the real. For those of you that know some of the tracks that we play on here, that Ballad of the Bullet, that's an Augie Kid track.
Yeah, man.
And I was happy to hear that he's dropping some more stuff that was with some association to First Guy Omaha. So that's what's up,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All a part of the fam. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I see Wanda Lewis in the chat. Good morning. Appreciate you coming on through. She says, I seen Brenshaw development has already begun at South Terrace. That's a Buffett developer.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm
Yeah.
actually glad we're kind of talking about that. It's a few development stories that's going on in headlines that I did want to dive into today at some point.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. If you know, again, we are keeping it loose, returning. Still got the turkey hangover today. So yeah, if you're just coming in, let us know how was your holiday, what you got into. And also, yeah, what kind of headlines are jumping out to you? These are a few of the headlines that are jumping out to us. Definitely want to talk about some of the other development things going on. Thank you, Kimra and Sister Wanda Lewis, for kind of dropping some gems on what's happening with the South Side, because there's some development on the North Side as well. It looks like they're gearing up to redo or redevelop or regenerate the area formerly known as the Chambers Courts. Man, it looks like down on what was that 16th. I'm going to get a pretty good facelift. So I'll talk about that. Maybe dive into some of those prices. Yeah, a lot of development going on in the area. Also, as Paul mentioned earlier, we are expecting Senator McKinney to drop through a little later on. A few things to dive into with him. If you caught our newsletter, the weekly wrap, this was one of the stories we featured as far as some sentencing reform going on. Apparently, a task force is calling for a deep dive to improve the sentencing and some of the recidivism. And again, Nebraska's most overcrowded prison system. So definitely want to dive into that with Senator McKinney, pick his brain on some of those things, see exactly what's going on, and also a few other things. Apparently, some national news going on. Actually, shout out to Nebraska Examiner for kind of localizing, if you will, basically looking at a national story and bringing it. How does it impact us? Looking at how the possible tariffs. Again, we are maybe a month or so, a little over a month or so away from Trump officially taking over. A lot of talk about the tariffs, but how will that impact your bottom line, especially housing costs? So maybe diving into some of that a little later on. But again, it's a pretty slow news day, so that's pretty much it. If there's anything happening in your world, I see Brother Sherman Wells coming through talking about Joe Biden pardoning his son. Might be getting into some of that a little later on as well. Some national news and things. Yeah. So again, if there's anything happening in your world we're not talking about, anything we might be missing, feel free to drop that into the chat. A big shout out to a few of you drop stories and friends of. We appreciate that as well.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Brother Sherman Wells on there. Good morning to you, my brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about what you got coming up here on the 15th. It's gonna be heavy, heavy. The next Sermons with Sherman episode on the 15th, 7 o'clock will be very intense and graphic. So I'll be featuring evidence from a family fighting for justice after their loved one's murder was covered up as suicide, with Iowa officials being accused of negligence and poor investigation. Viewer
Man.
discretion is advised. Justice
Justice
for
for
Brian
Brian
Spencer.
Spencer Jr.
There you
Man.
go. So shout out to Sherman Wells. All like I said, man, you the ultimate news gang citizen journalist that
Man.
is out here connected to the community and doing some of that deep dive work, bro. Appreciate you. Big time.
News Gang OG.
Big time. Anthony Rogers Wright never hesitates to say something about the Democrats. We definitely will talk about it because I have seen that this story out here a lot about what Biden did. Very hypocritical situation with Biden pardoning after he's talking about all the pardons that they don't want Trump to have. He's pardoning folks. He said he wouldn't pardon his son. He did it anyway.
Hmm.
And there's some reasons he feels like there's some reasons behind that. We all know two wings of the same bird. You know what I'm saying? We talk about this
Okay.
all the time, the two-party system. It comes down to that. So we'll definitely jump into some of that. And then also Sherman Wells says that story has so much reach all the way to Chicago. The
Mm.
story that he's talking about, he's going to be talking about coming up on his show on the 14th. Highly suggest you go to his page, Sherman L. Wells, and get down with the sermon with Sherman and
Yeah.
all the stuff that you got going on over there. And I can't wait to check this show out, bro. This is the only
Man.
time you can get some extra information directly from the family, evidence that the family came away with. That's not stuff a lot of the news outlets like to talk about,
No.
like Channel 7.
Man.
Speaking of which, yeah, we're gonna continue to deep dive into those things as well. So we got some things to do together as news family, and we appreciate all you guys that are doing that. Shout out to Dreamland Showcase who I mean, it's Dreamland Showcase. Dreamland
Yeah, I
Report.
did the same thing.
I used to have an organization when I first came into town. I started the Dreamland Showcase page, and I can't get that out of my head. I got to think
Man,
about
it's in
Dreamland
the
Report.
fam.
It's
It's
in
in
the
the
fan.
fam.
It's in the fan for real. But yeah, Dreamland Report that's happening. That Jakeem Fox put together, and it's just launched. We want to make sure that you donate to them as well in order to be able to cover this launch that just happening with it because they're
Yeah.
getting ready to dive into some news, man. And there's a survey they're putting out. I'm going to put this survey in the chat right now. Hit that survey so that we can have even more discussion about what we need out of our local news and media outlets. That's what this is about. So appreciate everybody who is part of this thing, man. As you can see, it's not just us. Shout out to William King, 95.7 The Boss. Shout out to Terry Sanders, Omaha Star. Shout out to Sherman Wells. Shout out to Conversations with Miss Cheryl Weston. Shout out to the Hood Table. Shout out to Dreamland Report. Shout out to Ernie Chambers Show. Shout out to
Man,
everybody who's in media trying to talk about what's going on in our neighborhoods and what affects us and our people. And we really appreciate y'all for supporting all of those organizations and more, and as
big
many
time.
as we can.
Big time.
Bet. With that said, let's take a quick break and we'll come back in and jump into a story. Appreciate you guys hanging with us on this loose Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Stay tuned again. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B.
Hobby.
He's Buddy the God. And this is Malcolm X. Stay tuned. Be right back.
Man.
The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging. The ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet. The ballot.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B. Buddy the God.
Hobby.
Appreciate you guys coming in. Chat, Chammers, Ghost listeners. Monitoring spirits even. Appreciate it, everybody that's joined us this morning. Do us a favor, share the show on your page. Get as many people in as possible talking about what's happening here. I've been running to a lot of Ghost listeners out in the streets these days that know about it
Man.
and want to get down, and they're coming to me and saying, hey, I like what you guys are doing. I feel like I want to help. I got some resources, I got some time, I want to get down. Good to know, because we're trying to build this army of citizen journalists so that we can kind of really keep track on the powers that be. News gang is going down. Appreciate you joining us. It's 7:43 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're anticipating our special guest, Senator Terrelle McKinney, coming in shortly. But before we get into that, buddy, what's on the agenda first and foremost?
Yeah, man. I appreciate kind of again the chat where it's going. As always, the chat is on point. So appreciate y'all, love y'all, thank y'all. Especially big shout out to Sister Kimra for kind of dropping the line for me, talking about the housing situation. Would definitely love to hear more about what's going on the South Side. Again, with the South Side Terrace 2 development, but definitely want to point your attention to what's going on to some things on the North Side in the form of, again, what we know as the historic Chambers Court apartments right there on 16th and Burdett Streets. About 70 apartments that have been sitting. I mean, I'll be honest, bro. This is not in the article. This is just kind of me painting a picture. If you don't know about the Chambers Courts apartments, for me, it always felt like just dark, like really dark.
Interesting.
Yeah, and just kind of run down. Like, I always wonder what was going on with that situation. I've never really been in. I only had like one or two relatives that lived there. But I'm excited to see some development. I'm excited to see some life going on down there in that area. Again, 16th and Burdett. They will be building new multifamily housing complexes in nearby vacant lots. This is after Omaha City Council unanimously approved a series of measures to pave the way for large affordable housing redevelopment in that area. More than half of the proposed 211 units will need to be renovated or constructed during the two-phase process, and will be quote unquote affordable housing. Again, trying to figure out still what that means, what that looks like as far as the price of some of these units. But the project will include, again, 131 units that are part of a quote unquote low income housing tax credit program. The federal program provides tax credits to developers in exchange for building affordable rental housing for low income households. Maybe that's something dealing with what Cameron was talking about as far as the millions of dollars flooding out from HUD. Again, people who make less than 60% of the area median income are eligible for this quote unquote affordable housing through this program. Again, these affordable apartments, which will include the 70 that already exist at the Chambers Court, and 61 new units, will be the first phase of the project, which is expected to actually end by 2026. There will be another phase that will happen on the west side of 18th Street that will be 55 to 60 quote unquote market rate units. So again, what does that mean as far as the price? What does that look like, and what are our thoughts about this? Again, this is something that has been setting for a while, and we can dive kind of into the follow the money side of it. The developer behind this is Hope Development, which is a Lincoln based organization. But before that, just kind of toss it to the chat. In general, what do we think about this development?
So interesting Chambers Court situation. Number one, it's I believe it began it was after Ernie Chambers, right?
Right, that's what it's named after.
Right, and I'm not sure when that it was just named after him, or if he was involved, or what was going on there, but it seemed like it was kind of fraught with some problems from the jump. And
Mhm.
not really sure why. Not really sure why. I actually happened to be watching the city council meeting when that developer from Lincoln came up and spoke on this, and there was a lot of people that got up. Clarice Dombeck was in the house. She kind of spoke on the fact that there's some affordable housing that's being needed. So she was happy that this was happening. Everybody on city council was praising this cat and saying that him and his development company and family have been doing a lot of development in Lincoln that's really transformed some things. They're really happy that he's spending time here in Omaha doing some stuff. So it was really kind of an interesting meeting. A lot of people got up. There were a lot of proponents for this situation, and it didn't seem like there was any opposition at all. So, and I guess it's a good thing that these are going to get revived and that hopefully be affordable, and they're in the neighborhood. So, lots of thoughts on that as far as my thoughts are concerned. I definitely like you want to hear from the chat. What do you guys think about this situation? I'd like some more information on when it'll be done and all that kind of good stuff. But overall,
Mhm.
coming from me, really interesting story, connected. A lot of you know that I moved here in my early 20s for a year back in the 90s and lived with my great grandfather who had Allen Flooring Company at the time, and he put me
Hmm.
on as a manager, and I managed the team that redid all the floors at the Chambers Court back in the
Really?
90s. Yeah, so I got a chance to see all the state that they were in at the time. They were accepting Section 8 and stuff like that. So I got to see like how bad some of the apartments were, which weren't that bad. Kind of went in there expecting it was going to be bad
Hmm.
if we had to go in there and redo floors, but really wasn't. It wasn't that bad. We redid all the floors in those buildings, and they were really kind of at that time really trying to revitalize them to get more tenants in. It looked like they were on their way to making them pretty nice to be able to make that happen, nicer than they had been at the time. And so after I walked away with that experience, I kind of always just was thought fondly of that area. I liked the way the court's set up. I always kind of dreamed about if I ever put some housing development together, I'd do it in that style.
Hmm.
And I really enjoyed that. So it's interesting that now that I came back in town in 2010. There's a whole different narrative behind that area now. So it's just really interesting how it just changes over time, and and how you feel about it, especially something that's so heavily has some heavy history right there in your area, and what
Hmm.
that means, and what does it mean? Is it just a gentrification coming and happening, or is this really some just revitalization like it was before? Like they revitalized it in the 90s, and it was still people from our neighborhoods that got to move into them, people who needed that kind of low income situation to be having a place to stay. Is that going to happen again, or is it going to be different this time? Gentrification coming. I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. Wanda Lewis in the chat says the Chamber Court apartments renovated started in October. Right now, they're moving tenants to one side of the complex while renovating is taking place. It's being said that they will not be accepting any Section 8 or adjusted income. They will have to be independent paid.
That's interesting.
So,
Um,
to,
yeah.
mhm.
To your point, Paul, even back in the '90s when you were working on it, the owner has been since then OHA. That is a OHA property,
Oh wow!
which is which is very interesting.
Oh
Given
yeah!
the conversation, okay, bringing it back, given the conversations we've been having, about OHA and just kind of some of the decline of their properties. That's it's par for the course, unfortunately.
I
I
just
did.
I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
just
No, go
want
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
flash.
Go ahead. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm remembering that Grandpa Pops had the city contract for the flooring. That's why, because he had a contract with OHA, and
All right,
and
contracting.
now it's coming back to me about dealing with OHA at that point at that period of time too. That's
Uh-oh, you
that's
got some
crazy.
memories? What what was that like? What was that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it was. I remember I had to call them. I had to deal with them on some stuff, and it was a little bit unpleasant. And Gramps was a little bit like, "Yeah, I don't really like dealing with them, but I had to get the contracts."
Mhm.
That's interesting that now we're like fighting the towers and the whole OHA
Man, all
situation.
right. It's coming back.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So OHA has been running that property since 1980s and currently offers a mix of low income tax credit housing, Section 8 and public housing. But yeah, I don't although there's this program that they will be using, um the low income housing tax credit program. I don't know if there will be Section 8 in this area. So we'll have to look into that. Thank you for
Wanda
that.
Lewis said
Um,
no, they're not going to
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
accepted.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
I
have to
I
look into that.
that's kind of scary. I mean, not scary, but that's kind of like I said, that's to my point of like, what is this going to be this time around?
Hmm.
Are people going to be able
Um,
to? Mhm,
well, as far as to the point, your question of gentrification and
mhm.
what is it going to be, they will keep the name. So as far as again honoring of Brother Chambers, they will keep that name, and actually some of those buildings are a part of a there. It is a historic place. Apparently, the buildings are on the National Registrar of Historical
Wow.
Places. Um, one second. The exterior and renovations will be minimal and will utilize the same materials as the original buildings. So Hope, again, who is a developer, says that the original buildings will maintain that existing look and feel. So this does look like more so of an update than a complete, makeover.
Mhm.
Which yeah, kind of given the history behind the Ernie Chambers situation, and that is something that Ernie Chambers, was able to develop a part of his legacy. I'm glad to see that, and it does look like the community is kind of chiming up, as you mentioned. Sister Clarice Don Beck and Brother Dwayne Mont Hayes, Dewan are commented or quoted in the story, saying we have not seen this level of transparency from any developer in Omaha, to my knowledge. Continue to hold developers to this degree of transparency and accountability. Continue to ask for this level of engagement. So it seems like things have been a little better, with Hope than we've seen, like with Canopy, which Sister Kimra is saying in the chat that she had to report. She says I reported Canopy South to the funder. So yeah, it's sounding like it's on the up and up. We have to look more into Hope a little bit.
Well, we'll see some more information coming through. I appreciate everybody. Wanda Lewis says OHA is no longer connected to the complex. They sold it.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, Tony Johnson is saying new housing options, but no new job or income improving options make me feel like gentrification will be the outcome, whether intended or not.
Hmm.
Kimmer's doubling down, said it will be, Tony, and they never want to talk about that. I practically begged Canopy South years continue some of that HUD to provide residents with some upward mobility. She says, I see where you're going with that. You're right. I kind of feel the same way. There's a lot of things pointing to the fact that these are. I mean, and think about how
To
close they are
downtown.
to downtown, bro. Like, you know what I'm
Tiff
saying?
Alley. Tiff Alley.
Stephen Abraham in the chat. Good morning. Says Chambers Court is a tax credit property, which also puts a time frame on ownership. Interesting.
Mm.
She says OHA is the king of displacement. By the way, Hassani Lee next hearing is 12/12/24 at 11:30. Thank you for the information. We need to check back in with Brother Hassani Lee for real, and talk about that. Speaking of fighting the
Big
tower,
time.
speaking of the OHA fight,
Big
this
time.
Chambers Court situation, man, it's crazy, and I we can continue to talk about it, but we'll just have to continue to kind of see what's going to happen. But yeah, I appreciate you guys putting that out there because that's my thought. My thought is anytime I'm hearing about Lincoln contractors coming out and renovating areas in North Omaha and stuff like that,
Mhm.
why wouldn't I be skeptical about what this going to mean? In the article right away, they're saying this is going to be some affordable housing, like Buddy was saying
Yeah.
earlier. What does that actually
Quote
mean?
unquote.
Right, right. If you're not allowing people that need to be on Section 8 in these apartments now, I get a little skeptical. If you're not going to provide for the people that need it the most, then what does affordable actually mean? And I just want to kind of leave off on just my memory of the courts. Like I said, when I was there and we're doing the work on them, I loved them. I loved the way the court was set up. I was just thinking about it the other day. As a matter of fact, I remember seeing where the pigeons gathered and the birds and the ravens and stuff would gather in that spot, and like I
Mhm.
remember details about that place because I used to always think of that. At the time, I was in my early 20s, big time. Like all I did was music and art. Just a heavy musician, love Supreme Warrior in a big way, and all I can think about was, man, what if this was all full of artists and we all lived in this little compound right here and did stuff in the courtyard and everybody had a studio in their spot, and like I really dreamed up what I would love to see from that place, from that court. It imprinted on me like that, and I always thought, if I ever moved back here, maybe I'll live over there. Like I
Mm.
said, the narrative changed. Narrative changed when I got in town. It was a different situation and different circumstances. So, hopefully, I can't help but try to have some hope that this is going to be a better situation,
Yeah.
especially if OHA doesn't own it. That's already a plus for me right there. But again, what is it going to be affordable enough for any of us to be in it? Good
Well,
question.
to that point, yeah, and I'll finish with this one. It does say in this article under the redevelopment, the Chambers Court will no longer offer public housing. To Sister Wanda Lewis's point, but the developer did say they will allow tenants who want to stay to pay the same rent that they paid under the housing authority. But because the current occupancy rate is fairly low, as has also been previously mentioned in the chat, tenants who choose to stay will be possibly moved to another unit while their unit is being worked on. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's been sold. Apparently, OHA was operating at a significant annual loss, was just losing money with this situation. So yeah, to brother Stephen Abraham's point, what's the indicators that much of that would change for the next owner?
Mm. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. Appreciate everybody's comments.
Mm.
Anthony Rogers Wright was saying affordable housing is a scam. Look at those new apartments being built on 24th. He says they're not for us. They're for the next generation of Creighton and other white pioneers.
Mm.
Stephen Abraham gives some more information on OHA. He says OHA has three entities in it: Omaha Housing Authority, Housing in Omaha, and Omaha Housing Authority Foundation. Didn't realize that.
Okay.
I wonder what that means. I want now you got me wanting to look into that
Yeah.
for real.
What is each one like? Why separate them? What do they do?
Yeah. What does each one do? Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wanda Lewis saying, talking about Southside Terrace again. She says, if you drive by the east side of South Terrace, you will see the presence of Brenshore. They have their construction trailers and equipment on site and already beginning the work.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
with that said, I'm going to show this again because this is
Mhm.
a contractor event that's happening tomorrow. And
Yeah.
my impression is
Yeah.
that this thing right here is for us, for contractors from our neighborhoods to be able to be a part of this building. But and I guess you better really go if you if you are so inclined and have a company and you're ready to do some of this contracting work. This is kind of necessary because the work is already starting by the bigger company.
Yeah, and
So
look at the bottom. Look who's involved. Omaha Housing Authority, Canopy South, Brenshore. They the ones.
they them boys.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go. 7:59 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, appreciate everybody that's joined us here on these this situation and this and commenting on this situation here And yeah, man, I'm anxious to see what happens with the Chambers courts. That's apartments. That's makes me nervous. Makes me nervous. It
Yeah,
always
yeah.
comes down to the question: what does this mean for North Omaha? Always comes down
Right,
to that.
right. How's the Spencer Projects situation going on? What's going on with that? Questions.
Those questions and more when we come back. We'll take a quick
Hey,
break.
all that and
Listen,
more on the next hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning. We'll be right back. Y'all. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God, all of you. Appreciate
All
you.
B.
Appreciate Pop's track. Appreciate Pop's chiming up with some of the tracks that he got going on. He's another one of the fam spotlights in the newsletter that
Man.
we put out, the weekly wrap. Chad Chambers, know him as Pops. Paul Bayon the third is not only actual family, but one of First Guy Omaha's biggest supporters in every way. He is Chad Chimber, recurring member, citizen journalist, researcher, griot, music contributor, and more. Thanks, Pops. Appreciate you very
Man.
much. Man,
Yeah,
definitely
need
sign up
to
for the weekly wrap. You got to get down with the weekly wrap. I'm trying to tell y'all.
get down, get on down.
If you haven't signed up yet, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in the chat so you can do so. Weekly Wrap is our weekly newsletter that we put out on Fridays. There's gonna be more and more information going there, and hopefully it'll lead you back to firstskyOmaha.com, the website as well. Really appreciate that very much, man. Shout out to everybody who's been helping us been a part of this and really making it be
Hey.
what it is.
Speaking of the website, might need to holler at you, Pops, about dropping some of them stories, man. Dropping some articles on the site. I know you got some. yeah, I love to hear some of that.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on. That's for sure.
Yeah,
My hero when it comes to the content, bro. Like he's
books.
a writer, published books, screenplays, music. Got several drops out right now on everywhere, Apple Music, everywhere. Doing the thing, So, love Supreme Warrior for real.
Hey, keep going.
Shout out. I see Sherman Wells in the chat says we can't control the narrative in our own neighborhood. We can't control the narrative in our own neighborhoods because we are too busy pocket watching each other and battling each other. Man, tell it, bro. So instead of having real conversations with each other, hashing out our issues and presenting ourselves as a united front, I'm over it. The same old song and dance.
Man, okay.
I feel that, man. I feel that. I mean, I feel like on the other hand, I feel like there's some work being done here, bro. A couple years ago, I wouldn't have been able to name, Sermon with Sherman show and BAA work and what First Sky Omaha is doing with everybody, and the constant movement towards partnerships with people. There's also, on the other hand, some things going on that is good. There's some lineups and some team ups that are happening that are hopefully making some kind of a difference. It ain't all doom and gloom, but yeah, we could definitely do with some more conversation, some more getting together, and less pocket watching, and so on and so forth. Appreciate that sentiment very much.
Actually, that was kind of the next topic I wanted to get into. Found a pretty interesting article talking about where the state of the economy is in Nebraska. And headline reads more. What does it say? More harder working or less to do. Study shows more Nebraskans working multiple jobs, and this is something that I thought about in regards of Brother Tony Johnson was asking earlier. Brother Sherman Wells talking about pocket watching, man. That bottom line, that bottom dollar, and even what you were just talking about, as far as some of the work that's being done, the work that we're doing, the work that Brother Sherman Wells is doing, the work that the BAA is doing, still need financial support for some of that stuff. We still need to find out how to get some money going and flowing and circulating in our communities. Like there's a lot of grassroots work being done, but where's the money? Where is the money? You know what I mean? And it's very interesting. We talk about the housing situation. Anthony Rogers, right? We talk about the housing situation. We've been talking about supporting businesses, small businesses, and things like that. But again, a lot of chat chimers have reasonably so been asking the question: who's going to support this stuff? We building houses. How can you afford it? You're building businesses. Who's going to come and spend at this business? Who's going to patronize and support this business? And what does that mean? Where is the job situation in Nebraska? This coming out of Omaha World Herald. Nebraska's unemployment rate continues to rank among the lowest in the United States. But what does that really mean? What does that actually look like? Because a new study by the Federal Reserve Bank actually suggests more Nebraskans are taking on multiple jobs. So again, although the unemployment rate is low, what does that actually mean? Actually, a study published last week found the number of Nebraskans working more than one job increased by nearly 5,300. That's between 2019 and 2024, actually exceeding pre-pandemic numbers. And to compare that to the rest of the country, across the country, the number of individuals who had multiple jobs has reached only 2019 levels. So as far as Nebraska, actually outperforming a lot of areas around the country as far as people working multiple jobs. On average, those working at multiple jobs tend to work about 51 hours per week, compared to 38 hours a week for individuals who are employed at one place. Sign, the economist said, means those individuals are not seeking to simply reach full-time equivalents, but just try to stay afloat. Apparently, the number of Nebraskans working more hours and multiple jobs for lower pay has historically trended downward, but it reversed during the pandemic. Actually, according to the report, despite working multiple jobs for longer than average hours, those holding more than one job have earned less on average per week than those with only one job. So again, a lot of people working harder, working more jobs, but making less money in a lot of instances. So again, until that's figured out, maybe businesses aren't the answer. Maybe more housing isn't the answer. Like, we got to approach this bottom line at some point.
Yeah, big time. Some good points in the chat here. I appreciate you. Of course, Mayor Sanchez always with the good ideas. Second step: stop frivolous spending on a lifestyle you think you deserve.
Man,
Always bringing in the personal responsibility argument to the situation as well, which is valid, does help. Also, Anthony Rogers Wright has a great um, uh, entry as well. Said unemployment and income are horrible barometers for economic health. Those metrics tell us nothing. Says
man.
you can be low income and still have access to wealth, but if you're low income, you're probably also you're. But if you are low wealth, you're probably also low income.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, you can have access to wealth, and also like I said, like he's expressing this, it's kind of a bad metric just because of the fact that look at us, black folks, we be figuring stuff out. we go we figure stuff out, so it ain't necessarily, if you can look at the unemployment situation, doesn't necessarily tell us what is actually happening with all the work that we are doing underground, side hustles, all kinds of all the stuff that we are doing to make it.
Mhm.
You can't really get the full story from just whether or not there's a high or low unemployment in the area. I mean, it's a metric, but it's not the only one. So I mean, there's so much more that could be done. My man Skilo Slim in the house. Good
Hey,
morning.
peace, God, peace, God.
Yeah, man. He said we need to manufacture more things that would help. Money would circulate more, and it would mean jobs. Talking about
Okay,
small business, which from a small businessman, I can understand saying that too.
man.
Uh,
Which is funny to hear Brother Skilo say that, because that makes me actually think about what Brother Anthony Rogers Wright is saying. He says, "Buddy, you're basically naming why Trump just got elected." As Slick Willie once said, "It's the economy, stupid." And Brother Skilo Slim, uh, that's kind of one of the vibes behind the "Make America Great Again," whole slogan is producing American-made things and restarting American manufacturing. So again,
which is
that's
which is impossible though. Trump don't know how he's gonna do that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
what
I
I
mean, he
was
doesn't
saying.
have the answer, Sway.
Come on.
But it is
Sounds good though.
interesting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I also like our brother Stephen Abraham in the chat saying economic growth and development in Nebraska has a direct correlation with taxes. Gotta think about that, man.
Think about them property taxes.
Man, bro. Let me start talking about the IRS and what I got to deal with them.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about
Uh, as a matter of fact, I just saw a thing that I saved because it was an amazing metric on uh just the idea about just taxes, man. Like it says if in California, if you make $1.5 million, federal tax is going to be 500,000, state tax is going to be 200,000, Social Security 10, Medicare 33, state disability 1,600. Your total taxes, basically, your tax rate is 49.5%. They're taking 50% of your money,
it. Man, that
and
sound about right.
right, and it's something to really be thinking about. And when I talk to some of my business friends out here, people that are running companies, and everybody's trying to find all these reasons. It's no wonder, bro. It's no wonder. Like I really feel like sometimes people that like the people that decide they're gonna vote for Trump were thinking about that. The whole if you're in business, then you're trying to figure out how to switch around your personal taxes, have your company pay for stuff, have your
Mhm.
have your corporate tax situation be a certain way. You got to do all this stuff just to keep the money that you make. And we all know Trump and the 1% and rich folks are all set up to do all that. So how is it that you can not have to be into that so that you can survive and not relate to other people who are touting that?
Man, I mean that's again that's been the conversation. I've talked to several people and a lot of people who do support Trump. That's their conversation talking about the economy. Even it's funny. I had a conversation with some brothers last night. They were just kind of putting me on game about the crypto, market and saying the crypto market is actually going very well. Like,
It's blowing up, bro.
man, going very well. And they were saying, projections are that the first couple of months of Trump's presidency is going to continue going well. It's going to continue going up.
It's already tripled just in the announcement.
Man. And on the tax tip, while we're talking about it, which made me think about it, the conversation that I was having kind of directed towards tax gains, as far as investments. And, if you do have crypto and you are taking that money, people are saying, yeah, it might be a little easier under Trump to take some of that money out and move some of that money and do things, and you're not going to be taxed heavily. So my point is, it's not just the 1%. It's not just the billionaires and millionaires out there. The average everyday person is also feeling like under Trump, whether you agree or not, the feel is that yeah, it's an opportunity out there.
Yeah. Speaking of opportunity, as somebody who is absolutely for the economic development of North Omaha and has actually put boots to the roots and done some real work in the legislature for it, our brother Senator Terrelle McKinney in the House. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Oh
Man,
man,
all right, we here.
I'm thinking about the price of groceries right now, but I'm doing okay.
Man.
Yeah,
How about you, brother? How's your holiday?
it was cool, bro. Just chilled
Okay.
out.
Yeah, Nebraska, Iowa. Tough one. Yeah.
That's okay because last week I saw you run out on the field over the.
Yeah. I went to the game
Uh,
with my little cousin, and then we were leaving the game, and then people just started hopping the fence, and it was like, "Let's do it." And I just,
all right, hey.
Yeah, that's what's up.
When in Rome.
I like to see when Nebraskans are happy like that. That was a good little video of you guys out on the field like that.
Hey man, it's
Yeah,
it's looking up. It's looking up.
really
Man.
real.
So
Have a
yeah.
good holiday, man. How was
Yeah.
your time with fam?
it was cool, man. Just got some time to relax and just
Good.
it's always good.
Okay. Well, besides that, what's on your radar, man? What's new with you? What's going on?
New with me, man. Just trying to get ready for the session. Trying to get some bills drafted. Um, Getting ready for first wrestling tournament this week. Also, inland port meeting this week. So those are the things kind of on my radar this week.
Man, perfect. I mean, you kind of heard. I don't know. Maybe you did hear some of the conversation while you were waiting in the rings. Definitely talking about economic development. Recent report from the Federal Reserve looking at a lot of Nebraskans working two jobs, and although we always hear that unemployment is low, and they try to use these metrics to paint this rosy picture. We know that that's not necessarily the case. As far as the Inland Port Authority, that was the idea, is to try to stem some of that in the right direction. Where are we in that situation? What's the next meeting? How are those conversations going?
So the next meeting was just continuing the process. One thing we still gotta get figured out is this airport business park situation and how to move forward with that. We kind of had a stalemate, honestly, with
Mm,
the port and the developers. They want money, and we want answers and a better plan, and that's kind of where we're at. And we're just trying to figure out like the best way forward. I do want to see a business park develop, but I don't want to see a business park develop at the detriment of the community. So we've been just going back and forth since the port has been established about getting answers to questions, trying to ensure that they do right by the community and those type of things. So we're we're still kind of at an impasse and trying to figure out, what steps are we going to take to try to move it forward, but move it forward in a way that it doesn't harm the community any more than it's already been harmed.
mm. Is there any point in this process where like there will be a RFP opened up for different developers? Like again, you say eventually there will be a business park coming to that area. It's just the plan right now, right?
Well, the tricky thing about this is it was never an RFP open for the developers because they got the grant through DD and they signed a contract through DD. DD just assigned a contract to the port, so there's a contract signed.
Mm.
So unless they break the contract in some type of way, they are the grantees right now. So we got to deal with them for better or worse.
Mm.
So it has to go through OEDC and for this business park.
Unless some terms of the contract is broken in some type of way, and it's we still going through the process to try to honestly just more than anything, man, just try to make them do right, bro. But right now, yeah, it's going through them.
Mm. That's
You
interesting.
have any reason to believe they're not gonna follow the terms of the contract or not gonna do right?
I mean, look what they've been doing.
What have they been doing?
Not not from my perspective, and this is just my opinion. You know Other board members might have different opinions, but from my perspective, I just feel like from day one they haven't led with the best interest of the community. When we've asked them questions, they don't even want to put skin in the game as far as putting their own money on the table to try to help finance the project. They just are relying solely on state dollars or port dollars at this point to finance the project and hoping some some way down the line some more dollars are just going to pop up. Um, they haven't really answered questions like you would think somebody would answer questions. They've come to meetings unprepared to answer questions or just the bare minimum of things that people who are doing a project at this scale, they haven't met those expectations. So I don't have a lot of faith in them, if I'm being real. But we have to find a way to try to get this done because at the end of the day, I want our community to be improved. And if they are the grantees right now, I'm gonna do whatever is in my power to ensure that they do right, but it's done with the best interest of the community.
Mm.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Would it be a fair assessment, or is it fair to say that this is kind of halting the progress of other things? I know there's an innovation hub that you're working on. I know that there's other
No,
things going on.
no, it's not hard nothing else. Because the port still had to get established, and there was a lot of other things that had to take place for like the port to be fully up and running. So it's not hard in anything. It's all part of the process because we had to put out an RFP for vision and then consulting for the development of an innovation district. So it's still other things going along. So it's not slowing nothing down, but it's just a hurdle that I think should have been solved a long time ago. If
Okay.
the entity that was granted the dollars had other interests.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going back and forth for this, for over a year, and even before that, they were working on it. Of course, as you said, they filled out the and was awarded the DED grant. So that whole process had been going on for several years. So here we are, several years later, and you're saying they're still not prepared. I think there was an $800,000 award that they won, and they spent it on something. Not even sure what at
Yeah,
this point.
so they got a $400,000 planning grant from DED to develop a master plan for whatever they wanted to do, but it still didn't answer a lot of questions. It stated that they did some community outreach, which they didn't, and they even
Hmm.
in the meetings that they didn't do community outreach. They just put people names on a piece of paper. We've been having conversations about doing like a pre-development, some type of pre-development award to kind of get them to put together a more concrete plan and things like that. But just hashing out those details is kind of where we get stuck in the mud because what they
Hmm.
want, what we're expecting is like we on two different planets right now. So
Yeah.
Mm.
that's the issue.
As they say, the devil is in the details. It's always the fine print of these articles or these contracts and these plans that kind of dictate how things go. Wanda Lewis kind of giving you some love in the chat. She says, "Handle that business, Senator. Hold everyone accountable." So, definitely, just continue to keep an eye on the board. With some of the recent election changes, is the board going to change? Is like Sister Ashley Spivey? Is she making her way to the board or?
Ashley will be on the community advisory committee.
Okay. 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 City council. If Juanita Johnson is replaced, will that seat change?
Yeah, so Juanita's on the community advisory committee as well. So
Okay.
something end up happening where she's not reelected, then it'll be whoever replaces her.
Okay. Just in general, outside of the Port Authority, um, on this side of the whole DED project, this side of the whole election, like as far as economic development and the greater conversation we're having, what do you think is next for North Omaha as far as to keep this ball moving, to keep the momentum going? Has the momentum kind of died down? Are we still in the mud? Like, what are your thoughts?
I think next is just making sure like these projects are completed. We met with DD as the Economic Special Recovery Committee back in October. I think it was October. And they gave us a list of entities that got their upfront lump sum of money. And what I'm working on right now is putting together a list of questions with my office, and I'm going to send them out to everybody that got money, and just trying to see where they're at in as far as the process, but also reach out to the entities that didn't get money and see what's going on. Just making sure like the projects are implemented right and people are doing right by what they said they were going to do, but also when I get back in the legislature, just still looking at what are the barriers that's causing a lot of hiccups in the process of things, and trying to see if I could address them some more from a legislative perspective as well.
Just a reminder on that on the situation with the DED. If people got money from the DED and they didn't fulfill the terms of their contract, what does that mean for them?
Well, they would have to give the money back. Well, let's say you were awarded, you were granted a million, and you got your 50% up front. You can't get the other half unless you do right by the first 50%. So
Hmm.
I mean, I guess if you didn't want to get the other half, you wouldn't do.
Right. So yeah, there's definitely consequences involved. Is the reason why I was asking that. This and so I really appreciate the fact that you're putting things in place right now to help folks that did get that fulfill what needs to happen and that be a thing. When you guys were talking about putting this 300-400 million into North Omaha, when you guys did that already, did that before. I remember there was a lot of talk about how this was just the beginning, and there's a lot of millions that are coming into North Omaha that you guys had set up for future years. Is there what's going on with access to those things? Is that, and I know there's not going to do the DED again, but what's going on with those bills?
So there isn't bills. So a part of what we did was get interest funds set aside. So about 90 to like maybe 100 million. It depends on projections and things like that. But let's
Mm.
say to 100 million of interest funds and things like that will go through the Port Authority for economic development. So
Okay.
that's more money. And then just I mean there's federal dollars out there that, the port could access and other people could act. There's a lot more money out there. It's just people just going after them. Because
Mm.
what I learned going through this process is like the state of Nebraska is like at the lowest of the totem pole of like states that go after federal dollars and things like that, and we just miss out on billions of dollars and opportunities to improve our community just because nobody applies for the dollars,
Mm.
or
So
or when we do, it's not done the right way.
so you're saying the Port Authority has the authority to kind of circumvent the state and ask directly for those federal dollars?
Yeah, the state could apply. I mean, the port could apply for federal funds.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So the big thing is there's always money out there. This is just the change is now we have a vehicle to go for it. That's what I'm hearing. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And the vehicle being the Inland Port Authority.
Just jump in the chat real quick. Go ahead.
And there might be situations where you got to apply with the state or you got to apply with the city, but the port can apply for funds as well.
Okay.
Just want to jump in the chat real quick. There's a couple things being said here. Stephen Abrahams in the chat saying before the housing crisis, the state of Nebraska was talking about giving people money due to the surplus of funds in the state emergency fund at the time. It was in the billions. Later, it was reauthorized to protect the best interests of the state.
Mm.
And I heard there was a deficit. I heard there was a. I thought that there wasn't plenty of money in those places.
You talk to the right people, there is money and there isn't money. Uh, it just depends on the fund you're talking about, to be honest with you. Because there is money in funds, billions actually. Uh, but but we have to keep a certain amount in reserves and things like that. But there is, based on like the forecast projections, they're forecast to be like in a negative for sure. But we've said that from 2 years ago that there is a projection out there that says by 27 or 28 that the state is going to be broke, and that is a
Mhm.
projection. And that's because of like the income tax breaks more so than anything.
Mm.
And those income tax breaks that was passed, what was it in 22 or I forget the year, but those income tax breaks are a huge problem.
Okay.
Okay. Look more
Interesting.
into that tax situation.
Wanda Lewis in the chat says the city should initiate the project by giving up their initial pledge to put in new sewers by bringing it out of the floodplain status. If they really want the project to move forward,
Mm.
always talking about the public works side. I appreciate that insight as well. Also, Anthony Rogers Wright is asking a question on the environmental front, wondering if the senator has plans to change the fact that Nebraska is the only state in the Midwest prairie states that does not have a permitting process for carbon dioxide pipelines. You know anything about this subject?
Yeah, I know about it. I don't have a bill drafted or anything, but I've definitely have had conversations with people about that specifically. But I'm not sure if a bill will be drafted or I mean, I don't know yet, to be honest with you, because I haven't finalized the bills that I'm going to do this year to be.
Mm.
But that's definitely something that has come up, and it is on my radar.
Okay, might be in the plan. Looks like he put an article in there to do some reference on it. He says outside corporations want to site these buildings throughout the state, and they are dangerous for communities and water systems. So
Mm.
that's something to look into. Also, Tony Johnson says, what role does the studies Preston Love keeps talking about play with projects like this in the Port Authority?
I mean, what studies is he talking about?
Yeah, if you got a reference.
Yeah, let us know because I'm not really familiar with that either. So appreciate that. Also, Kimmer is in the chat saying that explains a lot because I remember reading on Urban Institute how Nebraska was faring better than other states, especially when it comes to our reserves. Yeah, that
Mm.
was the interesting thing about the reserve. Like you said, but you said it. Who depending on who you talk to, there's,
Yeah, yeah,
there's money and sometimes there ain't. So
yeah. Because
yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of reports about isn't TANF sitting on a bunch of funds, temporary assistance for needy families, sitting on a bunch of funds that they're not sending out.
If you talk to the right person, there's like 9 billion, and like there's money out there in funds.
Mm, okay,
Also,
okay.
remember that when they say we're broke, it's not true. It's our priorities are messed up. Like, let's be real. Like, we got 600 million sitting in the account to do a cut for a canal project that is stuck in litigation with Colorado. Then we got $350 million for a prison.
Man,
So it's are we broke or our priorities just messed up? Like, let's
that's a
be honest.
billy right there. That's a billion right there.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
man.
priorities, right?
They
Yes.
care about kids and people, but you know, it is what it is.
Man, speaking of that, I did want to pivot to another topic. You kind of mentioned it, prisons. There's an article coming out of Nebraska Examiner. I'm wondering if you heard about this new report. Says sentencing reform task force recommends deep dive into improving success of inmates after release. This is something that we've been kind of working closely with. Again, as we've been mentioning, working with MCC and their 180 reentry program, Diane Good Collins, the whole recidivism situation, even doing some work with Heart Ministries and some of their returning citizens, some of the assistance that they're giving them. Your thoughts on what's going on as far as the recidivism situation in Nebraska? Of course, Senator Wayne did a lot of educating for us on jamming out. Where is that situation right now?
Yeah, I'm on the task force.
Oh, okay, okay.
It, it was created through LB50, and the task force was created to look at sentencing reform around the state. So this past interim, we had a bunch of listening sessions with different stakeholder groups. We met with victims' rights people, people in reentry. We went into the prison and met with incarcerated individuals and people from the department. We met with the parole board, and I think we might have met with probation. We tried to meet with kind of everybody that's involved in the system, pretty much. I think we met with the director of the prisons
Mm,
and really just trying to get a better understanding of like what are the problems and what are the issues, and trying to, which is always going to be an uphill battle if I'm being honest, in Nebraska, to try to get some real reforms done because the
mm-hmm,
data, like there, since I've been in office, there's been like 2 studies, and it all comes out the same, that we over incarcerate too many people. We got an aging population. The admissions are down, but the length of stays are up. And unless we figure out how to release some people, it's going to be overcrowded, and that's the biggest issue. Um, so with the task force, we didn't come out with no recommendations or anything. We kind of got. I wouldn't even say we got stuck nowhere because we really didn't have time to meet as much as we probably should have met.
mm,
So people want to take a deeper dive into parole releases, short term individuals who basically people who are being sent to the prison from like the county that are kind of causing like a bottleneck in the system.
mm-hmm,
They sit in the county for 9 months and they go into the RTC in Lincoln for 6 months and just getting out. There's no reason they should be honestly be sent to prison, and it's causing short timers are kind of causing a bottleneck in the system, and that's a problem. But it's a bunch of things. But one of the things is the aging population and the
mm,
length of stay going up. So all these people who downcline over incarcerated are about to spend a long time in prison, and unless we start making some real changes and having some honest conversations about what is justice and how long people should be staying in prison for some of these things, they're going to be expanding that new prison because it is going to be overcrowded day one.
Mm.
That is a fact that can't nobody deny.
So I've always wondered. I mean, I keep mentioning it, and I'm gonna keep mentioning it, and telling people like the state of Nebraska has a federal overcrowding emergency. Like the federal government has recognized that this is an emergency and something needs to be done about this. But the question also still remains: what if Nebraska doesn't do anything? If this continues on the track that is on, as a senator, do you know what is there any threats or is there anything that will hold like what does that designation as a federal emergency even mean? Is there any teeth behind that?
I mean, at worst, the feds could come in one day and take over the prisons and issue like a consent decree. That is where it could get to if it got there. I don't know the exact steps that would get it there, but we definitely are in a over. We've been in an overcrowding situation
Mhm.
for some time now, and it's probably. I really don't know how you get there, but that's where it would have to go for the feds
Has
to step in.
ha- has that crossed your mind? Like as a state senator who's in the trenches in this fight, you mentioned you have family members in the system. Like, has that crossed your mind? Like maybe I need to go to the federal government if I'm not going to get help from the state.
I mean, I've thought of everything to be honest with you. Uh, so yes, I've thought about it, but it's still, even if they do come in, you still got to get the state to play ball a little bit too. Like
Hmm.
it's still not cut and dry. Just the feds coming in, and it's gonna be in a shift and change. Look at Parchman in what is that, Mississippi? Like that's literally, I think that is the worst prison in the country, and
Really?
those conditions still ain't improved like they should. That's really bad.
Is that the prison that the brothers are setting themselves on fire over there and all that?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, it's up to like 20 something like 16 people are protesting by setting themselves on fire about because that's how bad the conditions are there.
Man,
Which
Rikers Island too. Been hearing some things. Brother Anthony Rogers right in the chat says that just happened in NYC with the takeover of Rikers Island.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, that island is they still haven't closed it.
Yeah, you said the people can petition the federal government for federal receivership, and that's what just happened in New York City with the takeover of Rikers. So
Mm,
a solution there. Hopefully, he put a article to reference in the chat as well. Definitely click on that.
man.
Yeah, could be worse, but sounds like it's pretty bad here right
Yeah,
now.
and I'm thinking from a media standpoint. Like I know, we've had situations like with Yancy Shu trying to go in and they try to act like she's trying to bring in, contraband. And I know Paul working with MCC, you've had some trouble as far as actually getting into the prisons and really trying to get the story. But when I see task force suggesting deep dive, I'm thinking from a media mind, like, man, maybe we do need to do a deep dive. Like what stories are really coming out of these situations and what's really, really going on with the prison sentencing in Nebraska.
Yeah.
I mean, deep dive is needed. Like the stories I get is wild, and they try their best not to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
They
Oh,
like the stories I be receiving is some of the worst stuff you will hear, and these people respond like just in an inhuman way. Like these like people inside are just like none of their issues or none of their concerns are valid in a sense.
mm,
Like and it's very dehumanizing. And as a senator, I try to use whatever platform I have to like say, hey, these are the issues that are coming up and that people are reaching out to me about, and I make sure to tag all the senators and the governors people and all these people to make sure like people are paying attention. But it's it's a lot.
Man, this task force that you're a part of, will it continue or was it just formed, for the task of this report?
It was formed through LB50, so it was kind of just formed for just to pat. But there's been discussions about continuing some of the work and trying to keep meeting around some stuff. But I don't know what that's going to look like exactly going
Mm,
forward.
yeah. And as far as the transparency of the inspector general's office, I know there were some troubles with that, them getting in and getting access. Has that changed? Has that improved a little bit?
Um, so yes and no. Are they came up with this MOU, and then I think there's going to be a bill drafted for next session to kind of define it. And but I honestly believe that some people are too willing to give up some of our legislative power because in the Constitution, the legislature has oversight of penal institutions,
Mm-hmm.
and we hire the OIG. So I feel like some people are too willing to try to concede power to the governor as far as overseeing the penitentiaries. I think, and and that's like a hill I'm gonna die on once it comes up, because I don't constitutionally, if we got oversight over penal institutions, I don't think we should concede no power, especially how those they are being ran.
Yeah. How's it going now?
So it's still a fight.
Yeah.
So they have been able to get in somewhat, but it's still not great for them or the ombudsman. Um, there is a reentry continuity advisory board created where the OIG is on it with the director of prisons, parole, parole, probation, some other people, but access is still, if you ask me, it's still limited. It's not. They don't
Yeah.
have full access like they used to.
Yeah, I mean, with so much overcrowding, like you said, some of the stories that we're hearing and the lack of access from government and the entity that's supposed to speak for the people, as far as the news, supposed to be, the fourth estate per se, is very concerning. Like, what really is going on in Nebraska prison? So, yeah, yeah, thank you for that report. Definitely looking more. Paul, somebody who's worked closely with the whole recidivism situation. Did you have any questions or any thoughts on
Not really. I mean, I'm hearing that I'll develop and form some questions because I'm not done. I'm going to be back in there. I'm trying to get some of these stories and talking to folks and trying to be a part of that. We kind of determined that because we are the news outlet, the news entity that we're trying to be in our
it?
community. Our incarcerated and formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters are part of that community in a huge way, and we need to be hearing from them. So
Big time.
it's a definite priority to continue to do that, to get those stories and to keep talking about these things and try to make some headway from a journalism standpoint and just an uncovering standpoint. So we're down to work with you on all of that and whatever we can do to continue with it.
Man.
Appreciate you, bro. We definitely will continue to talk about this. Before we get out of here, I wanted to ask you another very, very important question that we really kind of need to get to in this day and age, in this time frame. Kendrick Lamar's GNX. How do you feel about it?
I already knew it. I knew it.
Amazing,
Say again?
amazing album.
Yeah,
Okay.
I figured you was with it. I figured you was with it. Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna have to catch Ashley up, man. I saw on the post she didn't know what was going on. Got to help Sister Spivey out.
No, you know what also is good though? That J. Cole audio series is good.
I
I'm
heard about that.
gonna
I
check
heard
it
about
out.
that. I haven't checked it out, but I heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm
But
on,
GNX is amazing album.
yeah.
So
Monster,
I gotta say what Cube and Killer Mike just did Cube's album
man.
too, man. So we go. I feel like we got a lot of revolutionary music happening right now. Like a lot of it's just get back in the hype of the fight
The
and the
tide
whole
is
nine.
turning.
Yeah, big time. Appreciate you, man. Anything fun coming up? You said you got wrestling trials coming up.
yeah, first wrestling tournament this week at North High. I guess it's the 100 year, I guess whatever they call it, centennial celebration, and this
Wow.
for the wrestling, so
Okay.
it'll be cool. So
Hey man, there's been some legends coming out, you know what I'm saying, them North High Halls, you know? Yeah. You know all about that. You know all about that.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate you staying in the fight, keep us informed, man. We're setting up for next season. We're out of here the 11th.
Yeah, 3 more episodes after this
3
one.
more episodes after this, and then we're gonna pick it back up. And we already talked to Ashley, so we're gonna have to get with y'all and figure out what we're doing for next season. If you
Hey.
guys are still down, the new dynamic duo in the legislature, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen there with that. Man,
But
can't wait.
I mean, we got to get Victor on here too.
Okay. With
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
with that, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll set it up. All right, my brother. Stay good. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, no problem. Have a good day.
Peace.
Peace. All right. Always a
All
pleasure to
right.
talk to that brother, man.
Man.
Love it. V up. There you go.
Yeah. V up, man. Come on. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Haynes, brother man Haynes.
Rose, you said so. This is the part where you ignore the fact that Kendrick didn't pay homage to Ice-T. Oh man, okay.
6 a.m.
Police come out though.
Hey, fresh
Yeah,
need squeaking on them. All right.
We're gonna take a quick break and come back in, man. Obviously
Man.
we trying to keep it light here this last 15 minutes here. We appreciate
Yeah.
everybody's comments and jumping in. One more thing before we get to that. Marianne Williams in the chat says the people fighting for the prison don't care about overcrowding. Follow the money. How much profit and for who does Nebraska's prison labor benefit? Man, question, bro. That's what I'm saying.
You mean slave labor?
Straight up
Straight up.
slave labor by law. Straight slave labor.
Man. There you go.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break and come right back. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hall B,
Homie.
Buddy to God.
Hey.
Augie Kid on the track, man. Shout out to
Man, I saw Augie tapping in, man. He tuned in, man. Happy belated, man. Getting some love out there. Thanks for the track, bro. Much love.
Can't wait for the new radio versions of it so we can bump it on the show, bro. In the meantime, here's the old track. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Doing my Trump dance.
Hey. Trump dance? What's that? That's
man.
If he didn't have nothing to do with our way of life and politics, he would be one of the most entertaining individuals on the planet.
Oh man. This man. Yeah, man. This you got Miss McMahon running the education.
Brother, did you hear about the conspiracy theorist that's about to take over the FBI that he just hired?
No, I didn't.
It's about to get dumb. A conspiracy theorist running the FBI. Now, what does that sound like to you?
Man, about to let out all this. I told y'all.
They've been looking at your feed. Did you ever say the word woke? We're going to come arrest you.
Man.
Because there's a woke cabal going on. I mean, it can go anywhere, bro. Cash Patel. I think Roger's right.
Jeez.
He's a lunatic.
Nah, I didn't hear about that one, man.
I just heard about it. I think it was this morning or last night. Yeah, man. I mean, it's funny when I brush through mainstream media and news outlet.
Mhm.
It's just funny to see what people are worried about. That ground news. I love that ground news that we be on there because it
Yeah.
shows how the story. I can hear the story from the Republican side of you and see, oh, it's a great pick. That such a great pick, and then of course you got Democratic side that is like this is a tragedy. And then you got the white bar in the middle that's supposed to be the not the red, not the blue, but
Balance.
the balanced, and all the balance is saying the same stuff. Man, it's crazy. And how crazy is it that he I hope so. If you're right, brother Anthony Rogers, right? He says he won't be confirmed by the Senate. Even GOP senators are like, hell no. That's what I'm saying.
Man,
Like, we'll see.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
are they gonna storm the Capitol again?
Did it before. Rose Review says I can care less about Biden pardoning his son.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I mean, we got a couple minutes
I
left.
can, I can care less too. It's just all over the news. It seems to be what everybody wants to talk about. I mean, everybody's kind of feeling like, well, that's pretty hypocritical.
I mean, is that what y'all want to talk about? Is that? You let
And
me know.
and when we say y'all, we already know a couple of y'all want to talk about it. I'm talking about everybody else. Also, let's see. Tony Johnson says let him release the receipts on COINTELPRO in the black community and see things turn.
I mean, it's kind of already been released. There's no secret.
I'm saying there's gonna be a new COINTELPRO going on if we got a conspiracy theorist in the FBI.
Man, stay woke.
Let's get out of this. We got two North Omaha High Vikings represented in the Nebraska state legislature. Never underestimate the Vikings legacy. Let's talk
All
about
right.
what they talking about. They ain't
Listen,
talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't
man,
talking about nothing.
what they talking about, man? They ain't talking about nothing.
They ain't talking about nothing.
We got. Never mind. I'll calm down.
Anthony Rogers says could care less. Yeah, me too, brother. He said could care
Okay.
less. This is the ultimate expression of there being two legal systems, one for white folk and the well connected, and one for everyone else.
Oh yeah, you know. We know that.
We do know that. It is interesting hearing both sides. Both, of course, they're like, you're on Trump for doing all this pardoning, and he hated that, and now you're going to use your power. You're going to abuse your power, pardoning your son.
Yeah.
And there's other people saying, he changed up and made this move because he feels like, after this is all said and done, if his son goes to jail under the Trump administration, and also that this wouldn't even be this big of a deal if it wasn't the fact that he was Biden's son and it wasn't political and there wasn't political attacks going on this. The actual case wouldn't have garnered as much ridiculous as it did. So, yeah. Anyway, like I said, I'm not going from the senator said the GNX album is dope. So
There you go. Because what they talking about? We ain't talking about nothing.
Right. Oh, well, that's what he Pops is saying the same thing in the chat right now. He says Biden probably feels if he doesn't pardon his son, that Trump will have him beheaded the first day in office. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already attacked him. They already come at him. This, any other person that was dealing with this, especially from the power structure. I mean, he getting treated like a common criminal thug. Black. They almost treating Hunter like he's black.
Oh man. I don't know about all that.
Yeah, they going a little bit with them charges and what they getting them on. They giving them the full.
Hit him with the book, as they say. I just want to know: is Trump going to pardon Diddy? Is that?
Wait, I don't know. He might go that far. You never know with Trump.
Hey.
Sherman says I would have pardoned my son too. Hey,
okay.
I mean, we talk about the abuse of power.
Right, you got it.
And here's one more thing that they're saying, then I'll leave it alone. They're also saying, well, he also should have pardoned all the journalists that have been persecuted by Trump. He should have pardoned a whole bunch of folks. He should have pardoned a whole bunch of folks. If it was for that reason, if it was for because he's trying to protect them from Trump's campaign or from Trump's leadership. So you never know. I don't know. He says, but why say you're not so many times, then do it. I would have said from the jump, I'm pardoning my son. I think he was trying to stick to the thing. I mean, I think he was trying to, it is a little bit, we feel like it's a little bit of an abuse of power to it's self-serving to do something like that. Let your son go through the trial and so on and so forth. and he was just like, I'm not going to use my, this is what they do. It's kind of what his attitude was. They do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bad look.
Yeah. Brother
Go
Anthony
back on
Rogers, right? Reading my mind. Ernest Jackson. How about that?
Julian Assange,
Yeah, how about that?
Leonard Peltier. I mean, hey, what they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about?
Just about 6 minutes left, man. What you got? What you got?
Yeah, nothing much, man. Just we really reiterate a couple of the haps. Of course, we got galas coming up. I don't know if you guys are down with getting dressed up,
Hey, man.
getting your Bridgerton on and your suit and going on for the Afro Excellence Gala.
Get suited and booted.
Yeah, come check it. Get suited and booted. Go check it out.
The
Of
fried
course,
guy laid to the side.
there you go. These are all fundraisers, of course. So, you're going to the ones for organizations that you want to support. We are going to be putting the gala together,
Man,
for
real
ourselves,
soon. Real soon.
real soon. So get you not real soon, but soon
Soon.
enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we got to play. We got to play all the fundraising games. That's what this is. Don't forget, just because a lot of us might not be all about the Giving Tuesday type of situation, because of I look at it like this. Here's the one I want to walk away with right here on this.
Okay.
We live in a nonprofit town. We're starting grassroots organizations all over the place, even if they're not nonprofit. Black Agenda Alliance, Untamed. We can go down the list of folks that we're trying to support, help, put money
NOCP.
together. Yeah, man. Okay, so news organizations as well. We ask people to support us. We have 3 tiers: $10 members, $25 members, $50 members. We have some people that are helping us to do this work right here, and we're asking them to tap in a little bit each month to help us try to do that, and we try to grow that. Dreamland Report is a new one that just popped up. Same thing. They got some funding. They're starting off with being very, very transparent about where some of the initial funding is coming from and where they want the funding to continue to come from. That's why we are talking about it every time we get on the show. We talk about, donate to this launch,
Yeah.
because the voice is needed, the news is needed. Shout out to Joaquin. He's another journalist out here, black journalist out here, news gang, trying to make it happen. We need all this support, but the problem be that our organizations are not fully funded either. It's hard to kind of pull out some dollars from your situation to help other folks when you don't have your whole situation together either. If I'm going to go out and raise a bunch of funds, I'm going to raise them for First Sky first.
Where the money?
Now I had to reconcile to figure out how it is that I'm going to also go out here and ask for funds for other organizations that I want to support, like Dreamland Report, like Black Agenda Alliance. How am I going to justify asking for us all three? Well, I have to open my mind up. Everybody else got to open their mind up too. There's several organizations we need to be given a little bit to in order to try to help the bigger picture on all that, on all those things. And we just got to figure out how we got to do it, and we got to do the best we can. And nobody needs to get shamed if they can. They got $5, they got $5. You know what I'm saying? They don't got to be that you got to come and buy the $100 plate at the gala, and you got to, and so on and so forth. You ain't got it, bro. Like we want to be supported by the people, but the people are the people that we're trying to represent too, is us. Like we don't always have that money. We just don't always have it. So we think of stuff like Giving Tuesday a little differently than people who have discretionary funds to be able to your funds up over their bills to be able to donate to a cause.
Thinking about tax write-offs.
But there's a lot of people in Omaha that do. There's a lot of people in Omaha that do that. So we can't forget about that whole scene. It's a whole scene. This is a whole company that's put together this stuff. There's hundreds of organizations on this website that are going to be money given to on tomorrow on Giving Tuesday.
Yeah.
What do you remember some of the numbers that we used to do? We used to do this Omaha Gives back in the day marathon. It would be upwards of like 100 million.
Yeah, I was just gonna say millions of dollars are raised during this day and these events. And to Tony Johnson's point, yes, there are a lot of organizations not a part of it. But get into the spirit, like Paul said. Look into some organizations that may not be on there that you'd like to support. But also there's a lot of organizations on there that are worth being supported. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shown some of them. Shout out to the Union for Contemporary Art. Shout out to One Omaha. Some of our partners out there that are doing the good work. So. Yeah, just get into the spirit is kind of the point, get into the spirit.
Well, like I said, it makes me think of the ones that are not on that list, like Black
Mhm.
Agenda Alliance, so on and so forth.
Definitely, definitely.
Um, Anthony Rogers Wright says the local funding sources are dried up, plain and simple, and they foster a culture of competition more than collaboration. As a result, definitely have felt the pinch of that in the
Mhm.
stuff that we've been doing even before First Sky Omaha. We were at Mind and Soul Radio, which was a program of Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, talking about trying to get some money for a foundation.
Yeah.
Up
Well,
until they got that check, it's been a keep the lights on type of struggle for years over there.
man.
We know firsthand.
To that point, Anthony Rogers Wright is saying something that makes me scratch my head is why the Omaha nonprofits don't come together to invite funders from other states to come here for a few days and see all the great work happening here.
They do.
Little further up, he says, I was speaking to one of the directors of the Minneapolis Foundation. She had no idea that some good work is being done in Omaha. Yeah, I can imagine there's some. I mean, isn't that what the Empowerment Network that have?
That's what I'm gonna say. They
Yeah, yeah.
do. I've been to events now where the Empowerment Network have brought in people from out of town and funders from out of town and hooked up people in the network.
Actually,
That's what that's about.
Brother Willie said he's going for a Billy. You know, on that very mission. On that very mission, he's going for a billion. So,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you can see it. It's 9 o'clock right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're not going to drag it on too far past this. So we appreciate everybody that has joined us today. Kimmer Snipes is reminding us Washington Branch Library, and the line is actually short. Talking about it is the
Zoo Pass
Zoo
Day,
Pass Day. Man, I stood in that line once to get that Zoo Pass. Remember that? Yeah.
man.
So mhm.
I hear about it as more than just Zoo Passes, though, man. Get you a library card. Like
Yeah,
it's get you a library card.
yeah, that's
Real
real.
resources.
That's real. Get rid of that Audible bill. Get you some library action.
Man, it's
Audio
not just
books.
the books though. I'm hearing there's a lot of resources you can get through a library card.
There it is. I love it. That's what's up. Appreciate the report from the Washington Branch Library
Yeah.
line. Anthony Rogers Wright says, "Wow, went fast. Good show, fellas. It's gonna be dark outside in 2 hours."
Man, I'm still it'd be 4 o'clock. I'm like, yo, why is it so late? It feels late.
I didn't really believe in seasonal depression for a long time, and
It's
then
a real thing, man.
one spring I walked outside like, and I was like, my reaction to the sun being out and how good it felt was like I must have been depressed the whole winter. I
Man,
must have because
man.
the elation that came was just unprecedented.
All right. For your spirits to get picked up that much, they
I
had to
was
be
like,
down.
must have been down, down, down,
Yeah,
down,
man.
down.
Man.
Man, we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate everybody. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah, yeah. Kind of kept it light today, man. I appreciate y'all. Love you. Thank you, for kicking it with us. We're just kind of getting back into the swing of things. Baby's back in school, folks going back to work, and we're keeping it going. Winding down on this season. I saw somewhere Mayor Sanchez asking us how many shows left in the season 3.
Dre.
Trey. Yeah, yeah. And we got some special guests lined up, man. Again, got some guests coming up on Wednesday. Got some special announcements being made. Looking forward to that. Also, finally locked in with the Skurlock sisters. Again, with the Skurlock Sports Academy. So, looking
Okay.
forward to that. Yeah, got some things going towards the end of the season. So, we appreciate y'all. Looking forward to ending this thing with a bang and gearing up for the next season. Got some changes. Got some new things. Excited for 2025. A lot of partnerships coming to fruition, a lot of projects, a lot of ideas, a lot of excitement, man. So again, we appreciate your continued support, and hopefully, we will be lucky enough to continue receiving that support from you. So in the meantime, between time, take care of yourselves, as Miss Erica Feld is always reminding us, and hopefully she's recovering from her surgery well. Drink a lot of water. Drink lots of water. Be good to yourselves. And yeah, catch the same time, same place on Wednesday. You won't want to miss that one. Man. In the
There you
meantime,
go.
between time, Paul B.
Yo,
Take
yo.
it away, man.
Man, if you know Miss Erica Feld personally, then go ahead and tap in, send her a little message, make sure she's good. Check in with her as well. Appreciate that reminder that she's just went through another surgery. I think she
Yeah,
said it's
man.
her last surgery, so that's what's up.
Hopefully.
Yep, yep. Shout out to Augie Kid, man, who's in the chat. I appreciate you coming on through today. I appreciate you being inspired by some of the stuff we doing and making a track. That was hot. That was real hot.
Yeah.
Very impressive. As a matter of fact, let's start working on that soundtrack for 2025. That first
Man,
soundtrack, bro.
there you go.
Make it happen. Pop says, thanks for another great show. I love First Sky. Have a great day, everyone, and see you all on Wednesday. Appreciate you.
Hey. Yeah.
Tell Mama God we miss her on the chat. I know that she's out there hanging with the babies, but tell her,
Yeah.
send our love to Mama God out there.
Okay.
and all that good stuff, man. Take it easy, bro. Take it easy, man. You know,
Yeah, man. I had to stretch the hip out a little bit,
take
man.
it easy, bro. Take
It's
it. You too
aging.
young. You too young for all this mess. And me feeling like come on, man. You know,
Yeah.
so,
Like,
so set some things up for yourself too. You know,
man, start kicking it with James.
it's. As a matter of fact, I'm getting familiar enough with James. I can call him the Jim now.
Yeah, all right.
Call him Jim. I will say though, yeah. Shout out to you, buddy, just for continuing to do the thing, man. Like, just remember, bro, you in this too, and a lot of times we grow up, we get taught as men, we just supposed to take it on all on and handle all the stuff without no consideration for our well being, and we go and this is the new deal. The new deal is to pay attention to our well being as well.
Man.
We're learning it from women, self care.
Oh yeah.
Women
Yeah.
are teaching us to take care of ourselves too.
Big time. Big
You know
time.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
big time. Actually, with that, shout out to brother Johnny No Good, and what he's doing, creating a space for men to come and kind of vent, have have themselves be heard, let their minds be free, and feel safe, man. And yeah.
it's really real.
Shout out.
We'll see you Wednesday. We got special guests coming up. It's going to be a great show. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Get as many voices in as we can and get ready for some great conversation and great guest interaction. Appreciate everybody being respectful today. I want to give thanks to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you in a very intelligent, respectful way. And in a way that we're trying to get some things accomplished, get some movement on some of these ideas, and figure out what we need to do. So shout out to Senator Terrelle McKinney as always. It's always a pleasure to talk to him. I learn everything. I learn so much every time he comes on. Really appreciate him. Shout out to Precious McKesson. Good morning,
Hey, history making P.
Self care is the best care. Yeah, man. History making P.
Yeah.
She was out there chilling right near the beach, bro.
Hey, right near the beach.
I was jealous. I was like, hey,
all right, pineapples and umbrellas.
Hey, Precious, we gotta hang out. I know that if we ever get to like hang out on some non like work or non-political or non something, we just chilling, we gonna be chilling. We have a good time. I wanna she made me feel like I need to get a group and we need to hit that beach, bro.
Man, hey, it's about that time, man.
Yep. About that time for us to get out of here. We'll see you Wednesday. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the Red